And we are live.
Supposedly, everybody. The producer just said we are live. So welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday evening. I hope you're all having an absolutely fabulous week so far. You are right here on the Fun Speculation Network aboard the Speculator Hype Train. That's on a Thursday night. Ready to rock and roll at a Mach 2.0 for another episode of PM in the PM. That's right, episode 126, according to what I'm seeing. Don't quote me because I don't control that, but I think that's what it truly is.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Episode 126, Pong and Mav in the PM. That's right, we are back again. Thank you all for joining us. A little bit of a late start tonight, as usual. This time it's Mav's fault. Haha, it's Mav's fault. No, we are ready to rock and roll. Not a huge week of news, but we got some interesting topics to dive into. Sky's falling for some people again, even though he warned y'all. Even though plenty of people warned y'all, even though Phil self told y'all what was going to happen. But some people just don't want to listen. Some people don't want to believe. Sky's falling. The Xbox is dead. Doom and gloom. Sell off your Xboxes. Go get a PlayStation 5. It's all over with. Been a good run. I guess that's where some people are back at. Some of us, like me and Mav, are just like, okay, cool, whatever, do your thing. Don't really care anymore. Whatever you're gonna do, just come out and tell us, let us know. So we'll get into that topic. Mav posted, I don't know, like 3-4 times in the DMs. He's super excited. Like a lot of people thought Microsoft and Xbox was going to ruin Call of Duty. Call of Duty's already improving, and we're going to talk about that because Mav's super excited. I think he's got like an hour long dissertation ready to talk about why it's such a good thing that Call of Duty is now smaller. So we're gonna get into that. He's super hyped about that, and whatever else comes along. We got Gamescom coming next week with a lot of games. We got some delays showing up. We got some possible ports happening, but we're gonna get all to that. But let me get to Sniffles. That's right. I still get to call him Sniffles this week. He just confirmed he's still got Will code, everybody. So
the cold is gone. It's just the remnants still, it's like.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways, everybody be nice to Mavo tonight. Okay. Sniffles
I'm
is
fine.
still not a little bit out of the weather. Okay.
I feel
okay.
Whatever.
That's right. The one and only CEO of the Fun Speculation Network, Fun Speculation himself, aka Mav, aka Sniffles. What's going on, brother? How's your week been?
Sub asshole. Thanks for that. Appreciate
that's
you.
That's fine. I'll take that. I'll take that. You can call me asshole.
I love you.
I love you too.
What's up, everybody? I've been playing Madden. I've been playing the shit out of Madden. I've been happily doing that. You've heard it's terrible? It's so good.
No, the guys are saying this is the worst ever. So they're saying there's really good stuff, but the bad is so bad that it's not okay. I've seen some videos and I'm like, yo, really?
I haven't noticed anything. Like I haven't seen anything that anybody's said it.
You know me.
About
I
it.
get
Like
the Magic Xbox, so Cyberpunk ran game for me too. So whatever.
Yeah.
But that's all I've heard. But if you're loving it, that's cool.
Yeah,
I want to hear about
like
it.
the.
What are you playing? Are you playing Ultimate Team?
I've been playing a lot of Ultimate. I did like all the challenges that they have for the pre-release. I did. I've done a little bit of franchise mode. I've done some quick play online with the regular teams. I've done a lot of the head-to-head matches in Ultimate Team as well. So I started a franchise just did like kind of just to see what it's like and stuff. And yeah, I mean the character models are improved, the animations are better, the play calling and stuff, like it seems like the physics are operating more how they should and stuff. I'm making some bigger plays when I should be able to. So I don't know, man. It's weird sometimes, like you just, if you don't see what everybody else's reactions are, you just kind of have your own, and other people that I know that I trust that have played this one are digging it. But there's always that sentiment with certain games, it's like they can't escape it no matter what, and people are gonna always highlight the worst and all these other kind of things and
serve it with Madden.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, like
I deserve it, bro.
Only because it's a yearly release, though, right? I think, right? Like
only because they haven't done shit in over a decade.
No, it's definitely better. Like, okay, so I'll use this as an example, right? Like college football 2014, right?
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
2025. Okay. If you take that game, compared it to this game, it's a huge leap, right? For the most part. Sure. If you were to take Madden 14 and compare it to Madden 25, you would see a huge leap as well. It's just like less of an incremental. It's just like an incremental leap, like year to year.
You really think so, though?
Oh yeah, for sure. And Madden 14 and Madden 25.
It depends.
It would be as big or bigger. It would be as big or bigger than college football. I guarantee you, man. Like comparatively, I've been playing.
Bro.
I love college football 25, and I love Madden. But I will say, comparing the Madden after playing Madden 25 to college football 25, Madden is way less glitches, way less issues. There's more fully featured stuff in the game within the modes and stuff that it has.
Sure, so that's all understandable, right? Because it's been the same.
The difference with the gameplay is the same difference it's always been with the gameplay between Madden and college football, where it's more fluid on college football, and there's more big plays and stuff like that. Which is I appreciate. We've been missing that a lot, and I wish Madden would open that up some. But like, I think sometimes it's just like, because of the yearly release thing, you know, it's hard for these companies and these games to kind of escape that sentiment. But, you know,
I don't know, bro. I would say gameplay wise, it's regressed. But anyways.
Yeah, after playing it, dude, and I didn't play much of 24.
Yeah.
So after playing it, like I've played probably over the 10 hours now.
Yeah.
Like it's better than 23, which was the last one that I played quite a bit of.
Right.
In a lot of ways. So last year's I played a little bit.
I heard there was some really good stuff.
Yeah.
Like I said, I heard there was definitely good stuff. Like there was people going, they're just so close, but the bad is so bad. Like it takes away from it. So
yeah, I haven't been paying attention to what other people say. So
yeah, no. That's that's all I had to go by. And you know me, I'm the same as you. Like I'll just play it. I don't give a fuck. Like whatever. I'll just play it if I like it. I like it. So I'm happy to hear that you're fucking having a great time with it. So
presentation, I think, is the best it's ever been. Except for the commentators. Still, the commentating is horrible.
Yeah.
But besides that, yeah, I'm having a blast. And I've been playing Diablo some.
Nice.
I've been doing the new season. I'm probably like level almost 50 in season. Nice. Was it season 5 already?
Yes, it is. It's season 5.
That's crazy, man. So the new that I've been playing some Command & Conquer remastered. But yeah, I've still got the football itch, so maybe I've been playing football.
Nice. Good.
Yeah, it's been fun. I can't wait to. I'll probably be hop back and forth between both of those games a lot over the next couple months as the seasons get going. But what you been up to, man?
Well, a whole lot, brother. First of all, let me read this one. Free Time Gaming member for 3 months dropped in here earlier and said, "Still Wakes the Deep is fire. Slowly playing it. Good to hear. A lot of people liked it. Not my type of game. Not going to do the horror shit, whatever. But certainly saw a lot of people enjoying Still Wakes the Deep. So awesome. Again, Game Pass, freaking beautiful. So glad you're enjoying the hell out of that, because I know a lot of people did. We are coming up on big release time. So I'm in that mode. First Descendant is my new Diablo. So I haven't touched Diablo. Won't touch Diablo until the expansion drops. First Descendant is now my Diablo, so that's pretty much my daily. This week I did mix in some different stuff. I shout out to BT Maverick. I think he's in the chat right now too. Who generously had gotten me a couple weeks ago. Nobody Wants to Die, that new cyberpunk noir detective thriller game that came out. Unreal Engine 5, absolutely drop dead gorgeous. He picked that up for me on Steam. And he said, whenever your grazing takes you there, go ahead and play it. So I finally got just got the urge. I was going through my Steam library and I was like, you know what? It's time to play some Nobody Wants to Die. So I popped that in. My God, man, I made a post about it and posted some screenshots and shit. Yeah, that game is absolutely drop dead gorgeous from the moment it fires up. And of course, again, playing on PC. But I have seen some people play it on console and talk about how good looking it is as well. But just an intriguing game overall. Obviously, very narrative heavy, story driven game. In which you're doing a lot of detective work, and it is you do have detective mechanics that you're using, like rewind time and all that kind of stuff. You get to rebuild the crime scenes out, but the writing, the acting, the set pieces, the overall atmosphere of the game, it feels like it's supposed to be. Like again, it's a noir cyberpunk, so it's a futuristic cyberpunk world, but it's set in like the 30s, 40s, right? So you've got future, but you got it's retro future. So really, really, really good game. I highly recommend it to anybody who likes that type of narrative heavy game. Decisions that you make, conversations you have will affect the storylines, will unlock certain dialogue options, potentially affect the ending of the story as well, the game as you go about doing things. So there is a lot of that at play. But again, just loving the characters right now, hands down. That's like one of the best parts of this game. The characters are just absolutely so damn cool, man. So Nobody Wants to Die, high on the list, very good one. So I've been playing that. Another little action RPG game that came out that some people, I mean, most people missed and never picked it up, but this was Asterigos, Curse of the Stars, that came out, I want to say last year, I want to say, Mav. It really dope game. Picked it up for $4 on PC. I had my eye on it for a long time. And just never grabbed it. It's been on sale a bunch because it never really hit the way that they thought it would. This is from I think, is this a Nexon? I think this might be a Nexon, or is this a play on? I can't remember. I gotta look it up real quick. But yeah, Asterigos, really cool so far. Loving it. Nothing like, oh my god, this is the greatest game ever or anything like that. But again, for a game on sale, if you're just looking for a cool little adventure, again, action RPG type game, Asterigos is awesome.
Tiny build.
Tiny build is it. That's right. Tiny build. Yep. It's a hack and slash RPG. Really cool. So, had fun with that one. What else I've been rocking out on? See, I said First Descendant. What else did I have lined up here? Asterigos, Nobody Wants to Die, First Descendant. Think that is pretty much it, like, for anything cool out there. I'm always touching like other stuff, like, pause, but I am. So there's a bunch of other little things that I've been fooling around with, but nothing outrageous. So yeah, those have been my three main this week. Again, we are coming into big launch season here. So we got Star Wars Outlaws, and then we've got Age of Mythology, and then we've got Assassin's Creed, and we've got
Dragon Age.
Oh no, we don't have Dragon Age, but yay for everybody who's looking forward to that. Yay. But yeah, no, we are coming up into that season. Yeah, Dragon Age is going to be obviously not for me, but it's in there. Tons of games coming up here. So yeah, that's what I'm getting ready for. Joining Ubisoft Plus as soon as Star Wars Outlaws drops. Oh, of course, I forgot Space Marine 2, which is going to be massive. That's going to be, oh my God, I can't wait to play that game. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of at right now. So it's been pretty much First Descendant and tried a couple other things, but pretty damn cool, man. Not gonna lie, Nobody Wants to Die really caught me off guard by how good it is. It is.
It looks amazing. Yeah,
bro, it really is. It's just like narrative games are hit or miss for me. You guys know that. I've said that a billion times. Not all of them hit for me. This one though, just right up my alley, man. Just right up my alley. It's an adult flavored story. Main character is fucking swigging away on drinks and having cigarettes and having cigars, and just that old school feel to it. Just so damn good. And the interaction between him and his kind of main partner, that which is all right now, it's over the radio, just works so well and it's so natural. So that's been the big surprise so far is nobody wants to die. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, man. That's what I've been doing. Chat, what you guys all been playing, man? Just finished Dungeons of Hinterberg, Masshole 1977. Yeah, I've still been rocking a little bit here and there on Dungeons of Hinterberg. Love that game. Congratulations to finishing the game, Masshole. 25 dungeons beat, huh, sir? That's impressive. That's very impressive. Great game, though. Great game. God Emperor Sofa King says, yo, Delta Force looking good. Yeah, shout out to Game Pass Dad.
Yeah, he's been giving away some keys for that, doing some streams.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been doing streams. He's been in the DMs praising the hell out of it. It was high on my list. You guys know that just for the campaign. Like again, I want to play Black Hawk Down. They got a whole campaign. But the fact that Game Pass Dad, and I do have an article from Insider Gaming, which we'll get to, which they said is the best Battlefield game they've played in a long time.
Yeah.
The fact that a lot of people are saying the multiplayer is actually really dope, Mav.
I was watching a lot of Game Pass Dad streams yesterday. Yeah. Also, Brandon Martin, he had been praising this game for a while in the chats. And shout out again. Thanks for Madden, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah, he has been praising this game for a while, saying how much we need to play it. So yesterday I was watching Game Pass Dad stream it, and he was like, you know him, he doesn't go over the top excited for like a lot of games or whatever. He's like he likes he likes a lot of games and stuff, but like he kept telling me, man, this is so good, Mav, you gotta get in on this. Like, you gotta play this, Mav. Like you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. I know you're gonna love this game. And like watching it, I mean, it's legitimately it's Battlefield, right? It looks like it, but it looks like a really different kind of version of it, like.
Yes,
and it looks awesome, dude. It really did look awesome. Right now in the alpha, there's no controller support yet. Right. It's mouse and keyboard only. So for me, with shooters and especially first-person shooters, I just cannot do it. Like, I've tried numerous times. I will be like a lost puppy on that thing, and it will ruin my experience. So I'm gonna wait. They're working on it, and they're gonna add controller support at some point. And eventually probably release the console versions as well. But yeah, for now I'm gonna wait until they get the controller support going, and then I'll dive into it. But it's one that kind of caught me off guard. I knew about the campaign, the way it looked, and that it looked really interesting and solid and stuff. But seeing this gameplay of the multiplayer, I'm like, yo, that's legit. Although I will say a little piece of feedback.
Yeah.
The anti-air guns, the AA guns. I was watching Game Pass Dad's stream. You need to increase or speed up the cooldown on those on the anti-air cannons. Okay.
Takes too long.
Oh yeah, I could just imagine. I was feeling his pain. I was watching him sit down there, and like once it overheated pretty quickly, it's like you have to wait. Like it seems like 5 seconds to be able to put off like. And then you have to wait again, and it's like, okay, they need to really work on the cooldown a little bit on those, because they're not like automatic hits, they're still hard to aim and stuff. So the cooldown improve a little bit on the anti-air.
That's good feedback, man. I'll have to check it out myself.
Yeah,
because I totally understand what you're saying, and I can only picture it in my head right now. But
I was like, I mean, I was thinking that, like, man, that cooldown on that thing is fucking ridiculous, And then he was like, man, right after I was thinking that in my head, he's like, man, the cooldown on this sucks. Man. Yeah, but like overall, the game looked absolutely amazing. So.
Hey, Mr. Waffles also says Asterigos is dope. Good, another person played it. That's good. Go Poe. Why the Dragon Age hate? Just not my Dragon Age. Pure and simple, just doesn't appeal to me at all. I don't like.
I'm looking forward to it. It's old.
Mav is, and I'm totally cool with everybody loving that they want to play this. Like, people have been waiting on new Dragon Age. I've said this from the beginning though, Mav, and you know that I was never the biggest like Dragon Age fan. I loved the first, loved the second, and then from there on out, it was like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna do different things. Okay, cool. So for me, it's not that big a loss. It's not like I'm like, oh, fuck, I waited all this time for. Nah, I was kind of already out of it a little bit. I played more multiplayer in Inquisition,
Mm-hmm.
the dungeon runs, than I did the actual single player game itself. I just totally despise the art direction that they took in this one. Do not like it at all. None of the characters, even Morrigan showing back up today in today's trailer, her look is awful. To me, it's terrible. So like that didn't even excite me when Morgan showed up, and it should because I love her. But no, again, just none of the characters appeal to me. The whole direction doesn't. I'll eventually play it when it comes to EA Play. I'll definitely pop it in and try it. Maybe it'll surprise me. Again, I actually enjoyed Mass Effect Andromeda as long as I don't think of it as a Mass Effect game, right? So I played Andromeda as a sci-fi game, just a generic sci-fi game. Really good game, actually. A lot of cool stuff to it. So maybe that'll be the same for Dragon Age when I get around to it. But that's why I go. It's just not up my alley. It's not one that's high on my list. I haven't been clamoring for it and waiting for it for nonstop. I don't have faith in new BioWare at all. I gotta wait and see. I'm not gonna hold my breath on it. Like I said, maybe they'll shock and surprise me. I'm not against it. That kind of thing happening as well. So,
yeah,
pure and simple. Yeah, Mav is excited though as hell. He's gonna buy day one, so I'm gonna be living vicariously through him. I'll probably watch some of his stream play and see what it looks like for sure. So,
yeah. So Dragon Age has always been something I'm into, and it's like, regardless of what it looks like, I'm just gonna play this one, and I think that you know, I hope that it'll be a good. You know, I think it looks polished. It looks like it has a lot of work put into it, and we'll see where the story goes. We'll see how all the abilities work and all that kind of stuff. I'm not too much of somebody who's does as much deep diving before games come out anymore, like I used to back in the day. Like I'll watch the trailers and I kind of get an idea of, okay, this is what they're going for and stuff. But like back in the day, I would used to like research these games like crazy, every little piece of information, every little nugget for like months and years sometimes before they would release. And now it's like, oh, that looks awesome. I'm content with waiting on it, and I'll check it out when it comes out. And Dragon Age is one that I've been waiting for since Inquisition. It's crazy to me that it's taken them this long. You know, I was kind of with you, like when they made the change in Inquisition, like I was like, oh, that's weird, and kind of different. But I actually really enjoyed the game. I loved it, you know. So, cool. And for what it was, right? And I love each Dragon Age for what they are. I'm hoping that I love this one for what it is, and we'll see what it is.
Absolutely. Again, I hear you. Legendary Obi is excited as hell too. Legendary, I hope it lives up to all your hopes and dreams, sir. You know that. So I hope everybody gets the Dragon Age they've been looking forward to. Again, It just does not appeal to me at all, but that's cool. I'm not that dude who hates on games just cause. Like I'm not gonna be, because I'm super excited. I see how many people are really excited for new Dragon Age, and I hope it all lives up to it. And Cyber Gunther brought up a good point too in the chat too, Mav. He was talking about Kena Bridge of Spirits being out. This is an interesting little conversation, or whatever the case may be. I mean, I think I know we're probably both going to come from right around the same spot, but it's interesting because he says, you know, it's a little weird how people complain about games not showing up on Xbox or, you know, PlayStation, vice versa, whatever. Don't show up on somebody's favorite platform, but then when they finally do, people don't go buy them and people don't play them. You know, for me, and I'll get your take here real quick here too, Mav. But for me, what I've learned, Cyber Gunther, is that most gamers really are FOMO gamers. Okay, most gamers are gotta play the latest and greatest, right? And when I say that, I'm talking about the most vocal of the groups out here, right? Most people, if it's something that is older, they might play it, but they're not going to talk about it. And so I think that's what you saw happen with Kena Bridge of Spirits. That was 2.5 years ago that Kena Bridge of Spirits came out on PlayStation. Had it come out within the first 6 months to a year, I think you would have heard more about it. But now you're talking about it coming out this late after the fact, and in the middle of an unprecedented 2 years of video game run right now, right? With just so many games to play that it's buried. Again, I knew it. I knew it was coming. It's it's going to be on my wish list eventually to check out and to play at some point. But because it's not dropping in the Game Pass day and date, because it is a cost, game that costs money, even though we all know that Game Pass costs money. Up front, again, to me, it feels like this never had a chance to sell well on Xbox at this point. Like, there's no way. If we were having like a dry spell, like we did in 2022, maybe, right? Had this been like a 2022 year, maybe that would have been the game that came out and everybody's like, okay, well, we got really not a whole lot else to play. Let's go play some of this shit. Let's go play Kena. But not now. I just don't see it. Man, you got any different thoughts on that? I mean, I know it is weird because we all talk about the games that aren't coming into one platform or another. And Cyber is right. Obviously, we want to see all the games come. And then sometimes there are those games that do show up later. Some of them do well, but some of them don't. Like, they still don't get played.
Sifu was another one, right?
Yeah.
That came later and stuff. It happens, you can look at the opposite version of that is like Octopath Traveler, right? That did get talked about a lot coming over later. I think it depends on sometimes the game, and like some of these games are more talked about because there's something to play that's new at the time for the platform that you're excited about, but they don't really have the name or the huge fan base to generate that level of excitement like long term still, and people kind of forget about them. I think that even like Kena could be a great game, games like Sifu could be a great game and all that kind of stuff, and you're going to get some level of excitement for people that have been waiting to play them, but you're not going to have this huge like launch type excitement. But and this happens too, even within ecosystems. Like Xbox has been guilty of this before too. Like you put Gears Tactics out on PC first, then later you put it on console, and you have your people that are excited for it, but it's not going to hit the same as if you had done it day and date on both, right? Age 2 and Age 4, the same situations there, with the definitive edition and the with Age 4 with the console version coming out later. Right, like, it's like, oh, hey, it's finally here at Xbox, right? And that's about as much as excitement and attention as it gets from the masses, right? Yeah. But like, if they do it day and date across both, it generates a bigger reaction, right, and a bigger excitement. So sometimes it happens within ecosystems. Sometimes you have a port come out later to something else. Right.
Yep.
You could look at Hi-Fi Rush going on to PlayStation. There's just hardly any PlayStation guys ended up getting it, even though it seemed like they were kind of talking about it a little bit. Right. So it can kind of go both ways a little bit. There's also been lots of indie games that have done that in the past, where they've been on one platform first over the other for whatever reason, for whatever deals. And generally, I think it's that thing. It's that FOMO thing. Like, you got to be there in the there and now, and that helps the games actually find more success, is because the bigger the audience is at launch, I think the bigger the game can be, right? Like,
of course.
And
I mean, I was just gonna say real quick, Baldur's Gate 3, Larian missed out on a lot of sales on Xbox.
Yeah, I think so too.
They missed out on a ton. That was a conversational game.
Black Myth Wukong will also.
That's what I was just going to say, because Cyber brought up Black Myth Wukong. It depends how long it is, Cyber. It depends how long this delay for the Xbox version is.
Even a month is like,
it's going to be tough. Yeah. It's going to be tough. They're going to lose out on sales. They're going to lose that hype level. Now, if Black Myth is a game that carries the hype, and it's got that, it's got the long legs where more and more people hear or see people playing it, and they start jumping into it, then if it comes a month later, not a big deal. It's still going to be fresh in people's minds. But yeah, I think it really does come down to the fact that most people are just slaves to whatever currently is the big thing. Like, in Buzz, I saw Buzz in there going, that's generally not how most of the great games are not necessarily current games. And I get that, Buzz. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I play what the fuck I want to play. That's why I come on here and talk about the first Descendant and Asterigos, a game that came out a year and a half ago that nobody fucking played even when it came out. Like, that's what I do, right? But I'm just saying the masses, most of the people, they really are prisoners to the moment, and they want to be a part of the conversation. They don't care, like, even if they like the game. I know there's a lot of people that faked liking Baldur's Gate 3. I know that for a fact now.
Yeah, because it's not their kind of game, right? No. Especially on the PlayStation side.
Oh my god! Even the PC side. That's why people turned it into a dating sim.
Right.
Bro, there's no, like I said, it's great. It's great for those of us that love turn-based RPGs. Like, it's fantastic because there's going to be some more turn-based RPGs. But yeah, some people just want to be a part of the conversation even more than what it means. Like, even if they don't like the game, they just still will play it.
Yeah, I agree. It's weird that some, like, I think multiplayer games is a little different because, they're building a community. They already have an established community, and they can have a smaller amount jump in day one from a side, and that can grow over time, right? But like single player games, especially the indie side, can be a little bit more difficult. For some reason, it seems like on the games that come over later to Xbox, the bigger franchises, those have done like more okay, like Personas, Yakuzas. There's been a lot of excitement, people talking about when those come over after they've been away for a long time. I mentioned Octopath Traveler. That was one that there was a lot of conversation that because the people were angry that it skipped Xbox, originally, and then when it hits, it comes into Game Pass day one. So like there's certain ones that I think kind of are the opposite of that trend. Yes. But for most of these like indie games and even kind of AA games and all that kind of stuff, or games in niche genres and all that kind of stuff, like when you don't launch everywhere, like you're losing out. Even if you come later, you're not going to have the same impact that you would have if you were there at launch, for sure.
Nope. Even game of the year quality type games get hurt by it, and it sucks. So that's why we said it was a big swing and a miss for Larian and Xbox not to have it ready. Right? Whoever's fault it is, we're long past that now. But Baldur's Gate 3 was a big miss because again, they would have sold more had they been on there day one.
Yeah.
So
they said they sold fine in general, like across the board, but on Xbox, at Xbox, they sold more. Yeah.
Specifically Xbox. Yeah. Wukong could be the exact same scenario. And obviously I see Gogo Poe and Jesse P, talking about, fuck them guys if they're not going to come to Xbox. Hey, you guys got to vote with your wallet, man. And if you feel that strongly about a game not showing up on Xbox, more power to you. Wukong, I'm on the fence about. I'm going to wait till Steel tries it and tells me, because there has been mixed messaging, whether or not this is freaking Souls or whether or not this is just hard action combat. Again, reviewers can't seem, or the people that have played it in the background that have gotten these early copies can't seem to say one way or the other definitively whether or not. You got some that say, nah, it's pretty damn Soulsy, and you got others like, nah, not really Soulsy, more action. But the only good news is that I think the consistency or the overall sentiment is that parry is not a big part of this game. That dodging and rolling is more of a part of this game. I like dodging and rolling more than I do parrying. So that's got a little bonus. But yeah, I will decide whether or not I'm going to pick up Wukong on PC after Steel plays it and tells me if I'm going to like it or not. I'm actually going to go by what Steel says, because Steel knows me well enough. So if he says it's a no-go, it's a no-go. I won't be playing. But I do want to play it. It looks
nice. Yeah, I'm just sitting on the fence on that one until it's out for a while. Yep. Is it launching on PC at launch?
Yes.
Okay.
PC and PlayStation is launch day one. Xbox is the only version that got delayed.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yep. Not a Stellar Blade situation. Stellar Blade went from being everywhere to just PS5, right? So,
right.
No, this just went from being everywhere to PS5 and PC.
Yeah, there's interesting deals that happen that we don't know about and stuff, and I feel like with Black Myth Wukong, it's one of those interesting situations where there's not really, it's a very kind of different and unclear right what the reality is of what's going on there, right?
I think we were right when we first discussed it.
Yeah.
I think they just, again, I think they paid to have their version done first. That's all they did. They knew, everybody says this, that in development cycles, third-party partners, you know where they are in the development process. And I think Sony stepped in and said, hey, what is it going to take to make sure that the PlayStation 5 version is good to go at launch? And that's when they cut the deal. And when they did that, all priority went to the PlayStation 5 version and obviously the PC version, but it's tandem, whatever. And the Xbox version just got left behind. And I think they just put a priority. They paid to have their version a priority. And that meant that the Xbox version was always going to be delayed. Even if it's not technically paying for timed exclusivity, they just paid to have their version done on time first. It like you said, Mav, it gets interesting, but that's how they get out of admitting that they paid for timed exclusivity. That's
Right.
why I think that they're all being truthful, quote unquote, to some degree when they say that there's no exclusivity deal in place. Of course not.
Yeah, sure.
Just so happens that the Xbox version gets left behind. Just so happens, Mav.
It just happens, you know.
Yeah.
Circumstances.
Yeah, I guess. Circumstance. Yeah, whatever. We've seen it before in different areas, so I would not doubt that. But anyways, great little side topics there to start out. Mav, let's get the chat shouted out here, and then we'll get onto some of the main topics. You guys are all amazing in here, having some great conversations in here. Sin is in here. What's going on, Sin? What is happening? Great to have you a part of the show. Go Pose here. What's going on, Go? Thank you so much for being part of the show. The Def Leopard's in the house. What's up, Def? Great to see you. The OCD Gamers in here. We got the Cyber Gunter. We got the Jeremy Camacho in here. What's going on? We got the Truth Serum joining us. What's going on, Truth? We've got Amit Kumar in the house. What's up, Amit? Always good to see you. Who else we got in here? Going up the list. We got Angry Hip. Remember for 4 months says just watched the Veilguard trailer. Not my Morrigan. Yes. Hashtag not my Morrigan. Thank you, Angry Hippie. I'm not alone now. Yeah, that's definitely not my Morrigan. Shout out to you for joining us. We got the Magnum in the house. What's up, Magnum? We got the Xbox Gamer. What's going on, Xbox? We got the God Emperor Sofa King in the house. What's going on, God Emperor? Yeah, he says, hello, Chinese vaporware. Man, a lot of this vaporware turned out to be real. And it's been crazy, man. We thought a lot of these games were vaporware over the past couple of years when we first saw them. They're all coming out great. So let's hope that trend continues. I'm just for more good games coming out. I don't care where they come from or where they go. Just want more and more. So I'm happy for that. Of course, the one and only legendary Yobi is in the house. What's up, legendary? We got the Buzz in here. What's going on, Buzz? Great to see you. Got HNS 1998 says hit that like button, people. Hit that like button. Thank you so much for being a part of the show tonight, HNS, and appreciate that shout out. Who else? Scrolling up. We got the Mr. Waffles in the house. Don't know why he hates pancakes, but I love waffles too. So, Mr. Waffles, always good to see you. Said the Plucky Squire got a release date too. Yeah, we'll talk about the Plucky Squire. The rare Mav day and date drop. Third-party game for PlayStation Plus Premium, by the way.
Let's go.
Is it just like totally random?
Value.
Is it just random that they approach Sony and were like, "Hey, do you have some spare change for us? We'll put it on PlayStation."
I guess.
So yeah, it's so weird when this happens. But anyways, yeah, we will hit that up real quick too a little bit later, Mr. Waffles. But thank you for being here. Let's see. CD Gamer says I will buy Pony Tamer 2 day one. God, everybody's waiting on the sequel, man.
It'll get out. Just got to be patient. You know, they're on this like 8-year dev cycle thing now that exists in gaming.
Damn devs.
Maybe early next generation.
Woo. It's gonna be a fire ass launch title if you can get it out for that. The blue one's in here. Says I'm skipping that game. Got Diablo and New World to play. There you go. The blue one. Shout out to you, brother. Great to see you in here as always. Free Time Gaming, of course, is in here. What's going on, Free Time Gaming? We got the Sith Lord. Appreciate you so much, brother, for the shout outs, man. Again, giving everybody the schedule, the heads up on what the podcasting day is going to look like. Sith, you are amazing. Thank you, brother, so much. We got the Roberto Z in the house. Says, what's up, gamers with the Z? Roberto likes the Z's. I bet you he's Gen Z. What's going on, Roberto? Thank you for being a part of the show, sir.
We watched World War Z the other day.
Did you?
I love that movie. Yeah, it was good.
It's so good. Night Eternals in the house. What's going on, Night Eternal? We got the Nam Omar, of course, and then here says, I've been playing Berserk Boy and Demon Crush. Well, shout out to you, Nam.
Demon Crush.
Demon Crush. We got the one and only BT Maverick 707. Again, thank you, brother, for the generosity. Says, working my way through Dying Light 2 on my new PC build, which is a solid game so far. It looks great. Yeah, Dying Light 2 is amazing. Steel and I got like 70 hours, I want to say, in that 60, 70 hours in it. The problem being is the world is locked to one person. So it's locked to me. So that means we have to go back to it together. Steel hates that shit so much. So I basically locked him out of his world, but we were having a great time. Dying Light 2 is freaking amazing.
It's a fantastic game. I don't like the air vents, though. I don't like that mechanic in that game. I don't know. It's just random things like I just will find that I don't like in certain games, and that's the thing in Dying Light 2. I don't like the air vents.
Okay. The underwater is fucking amazing.
Yeah, I just like the gliding, from air vent to air vent thing was and stuff
too. Yeah, all that was dope, but the underwater blew us away. Like whole entire cities underneath the water. Like you could go discover shit in. It was insane. I was like, what? How far can we go? And it just kept going. Like it was a whole nother world. Dying Light 2 is cool as fuck. So shout out to you, BT.
Especially when they got it running at 60 frames. That was
what they said was impossible, man.
It was so impossible. Like Starfield.
Never gonna happen, Mav. It's a creative decision, Mav. Creative decision. Anyways, Dion Hayes is not. God, I hate them. Just come out and tell us. Fuck. We're not stupid anymore. God, man. I got another theory too, by the way, Mav. We're gonna get into.
Okay.
I got a theory about these delays, by the way. Dion Hayes is in the house. What's going on, Dion? We got Aunt Jemina in the house. What is going on, AJ? Great to see you. We got the Moggs E in here. What's up, Moggs E? We got Frank the Tank in the house. What's up, Frank the Tank? Nobody Wants to Die was great. Yes, it is so far, Frank. I can't wait to keep playing it. It might be actually a game I beat. It's Timmy. It's Timmy's in here. What's going on? It's Timmy. We got the Masshole 1977. We got who else showing up in here? God, you guys are amazing for being here. We got the one and only Prey Grasso in the house. What is up, Mrs. Prey Grasso? Great to have you in here. Thank you for joining us as always. We got the brother from another Psychonauts on the front line at GameStop, hanging out, holding it down. Thank you, Psychonauts. Appreciate you for being here, brother. Nathan Hardman is in the house. What's going on, Nathan? Always great to see you. We got the one and only Black Card Day in the house. What's up, Black Card Day? Thank you for being here, brother. Thank you for joining the show. So many freaking amazing people. Now I'm getting back to the close to the beginning here. We got the Jason Max in the house. What's up, Jason Max? Thank you for joining us tonight, sir. Who else we got in here? We got the beautiful, the one and only Miss Caitlin with the amazing black and white thumbnail tonight. I don't know if you did black and white just because it was easier, Caitlin, but it turned out looking really awesome with the graphics. So thank you for that. Loved it. And I think that's everybody that I can see. If anybody jumped in the bottom, let's check it out. Poison Maniac, of course, jumping in here. I see you. What's going on, Poison? We got the Highlander 001. What is going on? Thank you, Highlander, for being in here. We got Alvin. What is going on, Alvin? Great to see you. He says, as long as Claudia Black is doing the VO, it's Morrigan enough for me. Hey, that's good for you, Alvin. I'm so happy for everybody who's looking forward to Dragon Age. Yay.
I liked the new trailer. It thought it looked good. I don't understand. Like, it looked like it had good graphics. It looked like the gameplay is fun. Like, looked polished. Like, it looked impressive.
A lot of people are gonna love the hell out of this Dragon Age. I tell you. I'm telling you, and I'm being dead serious too. Again, I don't wish for any game to fail, and I don't hate on games just because I'm not. I'm being sarcastic because
Would I
it's not
rather
my
them
game.
have gone like make
Now,
Dragon Age into Baldur's, like what they did with Baldur's Gate 3 and go full on like hardcore, like yeah. But man, I don't know. I'm like I like what I see.
part of my additional sarcasm as well, because I know this is one of the reasons they probably move about, right?
Yeah.
So again, everybody gets their games. Pong's games get delayed. Like this is what we've been doing. So there's a little extra spice in there. Because again, I'm in entitled gamer mode. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm in entitled gamer mode because I'm kind of sick and tired of shit. So I'm just rolling with it. But again, I got plenty to play. Dragon Age is going to be probably really good. And a lot of people are going to love it. And I hope so. I hope so, because I'd love to see BioWare come back. Otherwise, it's the end of BioWare, and BioWare is just a name. Personally, that's where I think it's at. But we're going to find out one way or the other, because I obviously really am looking forward to Mass Effect. Okay. So I need BioWare to prove to me through Dragon Age, at least to the Dragon Age fan group, that they are back and that they can do some quality stuff and not screw it all up like they did Andromeda. So if they pull this off, it gives me more confidence towards the next Mass Effect, which is something that I, despite Andromeda, am still looking forward to and am hyped about to see what they do with Mass Effect. So that's also part of this.
Yeah.
I do want to see it do good.
Prince
Green, what's going on?
Did we get the free time gaming member for 3 months? Still wakes the deepest fire, slowly playing it. We got that.
I read that a long ass time
just
ago.
trying to
make sure I caught it. Yep, made sure I caught that. Yeah, no problem. Coach Hooded Canuck, I see you. What's going on, Coach? We got Cullinan Prime in the house. What's it? Cullinan Prime. You guys are amazing. Thank you for jumping in here. Let's see. Anybody else? Angry Hippie? Yes. And I think I got everybody. I do. Oh no. The man with the biggest stick in the community. And he's not afraid to swing it. And he's not afraid to slap you around with it if you get out of line. Everybody welcome the one and only boss, Mod Lethal Papa, to the chat. Thank you, brother, for hanging out with us tonight. Great to see you, sir. As always, much respect and love. I think that's everybody. Yes. Okay. All right, man. Let's get down to it, brother. Let's get down to it. We're about an hour in already. So, Matt. Well, basically, our thumbnail covers pretty much everything we have to talk about tonight, because it covers basically every little topic that we're going to bring up. So, let's start here, Matt. Let's start with one of the port scenarios. We're not going to start with the rumor of another Xbox announcement going to PlayStation. We're not going to start there. We'll save that one for a little bit. But let's come back around, and this is the one that I had personally guessed for Showcase before we found out that they weren't doing any kind of Eastern Showcase section like they have for all the past years. But I had guessed that Final Fantasy XVI was going to be shown at the Xbox Showcase. When that did not happen, a lot of us assumed it was going to come later this year. Rumors popped back up again, thanks to Special Nick over at Xbox Era and others, saying that they are prepping Final Fantasy XVI to show up on Xbox consoles. This is not a surprise to me. I don't think it's a surprise to you, Matt. This is something we've both been all over, saying this is going to happen, especially after Square came out and made their big whole, we're different, we're changed, we're a new company now, we're going to expand everything out. Final Fantasy 16 made the most sense to port immediately and bring it out, like get it over on Xbox or whatever the case may be. But it is supposedly ready to rock and roll, just waiting the announcement from Square. And obviously Gamescom next week. I mean, perfect timing, right, Mav? It's either that or it's a Tokyo Game Show, TGS. I mean, it's got to be one of the two.
Yeah, and they're not far away from each other, right? So, like, I think it's happening. All we got to do is look at what was the last press release that Square Enix put out about Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah,
talking about putting it on PC and everything, and also the other place, right? I mean, the other place. We're excited to share news. I mean, it's happening. It's so obvious. They just aren't allowed to say it yet. So they pretty much said it. without saying it. And the question is, yeah, are they going to do it here? Gamescom, are they going to announce it at TGS? And one or the other, we're going to get that announcement. I think it's something that hits this year. So I'm excited for it. It's actually like, it's not, this is going to be kind of like the Dragon Age conversation a little bit, but like, it's not really a Final Fantasy game traditionally in any sense, right? It's an action game.
Correct.
But from what I've played of it, which I've played a good amount so far, it's a really solid story, really good story, a really dark story, really good graphics. The gameplay is simplified, it's and stuff, but it's still fun. I think it's a solid game. Okay. Right? So I'll be excited for Xbox fans to give it a go when it comes out. I think it should be a spin-off to Final Fantasy, not be the main line, right? But as it is, judging it for the game that it is, with that, trying to separate that out of my mind, I think it's solid. So, and I shit on this game before because it was, I think it's tarnishing the mainline Final Fantasy and what being the face of JRPGs, right? Like, and I think that's why they struggle in sales and all these other kind of things are going too far away from what made them special to begin with. But after playing it for what it's worth, the game that it is, separating that, kind of like you did with Mass Effect Andromeda, I guess, where you had fun with it, right? So not considering Mass Effect or whatever, like just judging this for a game and just a game, not removing it from the other stuff. It's really solid. So I think it's deserves to have as many people play it as possible. I want them in the future for the main line to go in a different direction and take this concept and create a separate franchise out of it. That'd be pretty cool. If they could do that. I don't know if it's sold well enough for them to get the budgets that they've had in the past anymore. Like maybe with a new direction for Square, not doing all these exclusivity deals, they can find a new way forward with those kind of games and stuff. But yeah, they made some bad decisions in the past that have hurt them. And I think this coming out later will still, I think it'll do pretty good on Xbox, but it won't do as good as it would have if it had been there at launch.
Do you think it's?
Do I think what?
Game Pass?
I hope so, because I think that's it. The reason why I hope so is because if they do a Game Pass deal on that, I think it signifies the strength and what they're really trying to do with Square, and means even more for other stuff in the future, right? I think that ultimately, if Square's serious about really finding an audience and growing the audience on the Xbox ecosystem and finding the fans there, going that route, especially for a game that's been out over a year, right, would be the right direction, because you can get the hype and excitement for Game Pass. You're already lost out on the sales from launch anyway. You're getting cash and money from Microsoft for the Game Pass deal, but then you're also generating excitement and growing and cultivating the audience, which you've missed out on doing now for a while with the Final Fantasy VII remake games and also Final Fantasy 16 now. So that's like 3 major launches in a row that they have not had their premier game launching on Xbox. And that's a way to kind of make fans of the franchises ignore you and start to lose interest. So they need to garner that back, some of that interest. And that's one way to do it, for sure, is to say, hey, this was a big game. This was a well-received game. This is finally coming to Xbox. And guess what? Now it's also going to be in Game Pass. I think that would be the announcement to make. I don't know if they're doing it or not, but we'll see.
I'm right there with you. I think if you're going to do this, because Visions of Mana is not going to be Game Pass as far as we're aware of. They did, hook everybody up with Octopath Traveler when it came out. I mean, obviously now they're back in there again, now that both of them are back on Xbox. So they're back in Game Pass. But I think, to your point, Mav, with Final Fantasy, because of what that IP has done over the past few years, being stuck on one platform, like you said, if you are going to do this breakthrough moment, like that's one way to jumpstart. Like, especially in a year like this year where there is a ton to play, but Xbox just moved one of their big RPGs out of this year. You slot in if it's ready this year and it's a late addition to Game Pass. I think that's massive, and it's for both Xbox and for Square to have that happen because, like you said, man, a lot of people looked at this game like me, like you, and criticized it as old Final Fantasy fans, going, "You guys are changing this way too much. This would be great as a spin-off type game if you guys want to go this route, but bring back traditional Final Fantasy." That's what we'd love to see. Now, whether or not they ever do that, we don't know. But I'm just saying, since a lot of people looked at it that way, to have it drop into Game Pass to allow a lot of people on the fence to try it out, even if it's for a short period. Let's say they don't, let's say it's only in there for 6 months, just to give people a chance to jump into it and see if they actually enjoy that style of Final Fantasy would be really good. And obviously, again, the story, according to you and according to plenty of others, they've got some meat on that bone when it comes to the story. There is some really good stuff to the game. That's how you start.
The story is what surprised me with how good it was with it, and I was like,
"There you go."
Yeah, it grabbed me, and it was very dark for a Final Fantasy game, like which was really cool. I think I think they could look at what Square could do is they could look at what Sega did with Yakuza, with Persona, now with the Atlas games, and see that there is a genuine excitement for these franchises now. See that there is a audience cultivated now for these games, and they can even look at a small sample size of what they've done with Octopath as well, where there was actual genuine excitement and people talking about and playing their games. And so look at those examples and say, okay, well, this is how we can go forward to reestablish ourselves now that we've been treating Xbox gamers as second-class citizens for so long. If our new direction is to encompass releasing as many places as possible, which is what they've said, then that's a way to go forward, is to, kind of make it a celebration, make it a bigger moment, and kind of give something to the fans, right? So,
great.
We'll see. It depends on the deal that they're able to work out with Microsoft. I think it's worth getting either way, especially depending on the price. I don't think they should, hey, the Xbox $70, like after the game's been out for a while. Like, I think come out there with like a pretty good incentivized price point for the launch. And I think it'll do pretty decent.
I think so too. It depends when it drops, but I think no matter what, there will be people that try. Like I said, if it hit Game Pass, I think you'll have a lot of people try, and I think it would be good for them. So we'll see. But interesting that rumor came popping back up again. Again, nothing outrageous with something we've expected forever. It just makes total sense. But they pop back up this week, right around with Gamescom right around the corner.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming we might have a little.
Yeah, I see Jeremy Camacho saying Final Fantasy is one of the greatest IPs in gaming. It's been there from the beginning on consoles gaming. It shouldn't ever have to go to Game Pass for Xbox fans to try it. Well, I mean,
Sorry, man.
I think
that's not
I've been Final Fantasy since OG days, like one of my. But if you want to really look at what's happened to the Final Fantasy IP,
it's not what
it used to be, bro. Like the amount of sales they get today comparatively to what they got back in the glory days. Yeah, it is so minuscule compared to what they used to do. And we talked about this on shows numerous times about what's happened to Final Fantasy, a brand and the IP. Like it seems like they just fucked it. Like they had like the gold standard granddaddy of JRPGs and stuff, but now other games come out that are lesser known, less popular IPs that completely destroy them in sales for even JRPG.
I've argued that Persona is a bigger IP than
Persona. Just obviously Dragon Quest, like in the Dragon's Dogma look at what it did. Like comparatively, like it did as it did about as good as Final Fantasy did, though. Which is it should have no reason or place to be up there with the next mainline Final Fantasy game if we think about what Final Fantasy used to mean, right? Sure. For what Final Fantasy used to mean, it used to be like, oh my God, there's a new Final Fantasy coming this year. Holy shit! It's like, oh, this is finally, happening and stuff, and like, it's just they've just fucked it. They fucked it by the deals that they've been doing, the exclusivity deals, the games that they've made. They focus on the wrong things sometimes with the games, and
even the 7 remake, even the second one, Mav was down in sales from the first. What that with how great the first part was received
dramatically too.
That should have been an easy W where they actually increase on the sequel, but nope, they didn't actually drop.
Yeah, so again, like people losing interest in Final Fantasy. It's just what it is. What it is. Like
they squandered it.
I want it to come back in a big way because I love the franchise. I do.
They got some great freaking.
But for me, like 15 was really the start of the downfall for that.
Yep, I agree. I mean, some people would point to earlier ones.
Well, 13. If you want to be real, 13 was really.
People hated Lightning for some reason. I don't know why, but she was dope at.
I thought 13 was pretty good, but like they started focusing more on the overall just like production values as opposed to like the core elements of the game. Like and they've been doing that for a long time now.
They have. But I think that just go back to the original point, you still have to cultivate a fan base.
Yep.
I don't care how big of an IP. Again, look at Persona. Look at what Atlas did. Once they opened up the doors, they didn't just open up the doors and begrudgingly put it into Xbox and say, okay, well, if Xbox gamers will pay full price, then they can go ahead and play our games. No, they welcomed Xbox players in by saying, guess what? Our games are coming to Game Pass. You're going to be able to experience Personas for the first time ever on Xbox, and we're cutting that deal for Game Pass to start cultivating that fan base. And guess what? They got a pretty freaking good Persona fan base now on Xbox.
The next mainline one is going to be huge.
Yeah, 6 is going to be, and again, there's no question that 6 is going everywhere day one.
Yeah.
I'm not saying 6 is going to be in Game Pass. They have now cultivated through using Game Pass to get everybody into Persona to the point where I do think they could launch without going to Game Pass day and date and still have good sales
on Xbox.
Yeah, for sure.
I 100% agree.
Yep.
If Octopath Traveler 3 were to be announced to come out, I think it would do well as well because people have been more familiar
now
with it on Xbox as well. Like the same thing with
corrected their mistake.
The new Yakuza games do pretty decent, Yeah. Like because they cultivated all the fan bases there and stuff.
Like a Dragon did better on Xbox than it did on PlayStation.
It's crazy, man.
For a while when it came out, because people fell in love with Yakuza on Xbox now. Like that was a PlayStation. That was their one of their identity games, right? Yakuza, because that was PlayStation only forever. Now, you can't tell me that's not almost evenly split. Like when you think Yakuza, you could still think Xbox now, like people do.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's normal. So I just really think that Square has an opportunity to use a variety of different ways to do things. They don't have to put everything on Game Pass, but with Final Fantasy, I think it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Jax82 with the $4.99 says, do you think Square Enix will do more deals with Xbox, or will they just do it if it makes sense for them? Will Square go all in with Xbox? Mav? Stop.
Say it again. I was reading something. Do you think Square Enix will do more deals with Xbox?
Or will they just do it? It makes sense. Yeah.
I think they're going to do more deals with Xbox because I think they are trying to play makeup now a little bit. I think the Octopath deals and it wasn't just 2 going into Game Pass, but we saw 1 return, right? That signified something else to me because it's like more than just the 1 game. They went ahead and just kind of, hey, just put this back. I think there's some kind of bigger deal behind the scenes. You had the developer direct where Visions of Mana showed up, right? Like that at one of the premier showcases for Xbox where they only showing a few games, and one of them was a third-party game that has no Game Pass deal, no other kind of thing with it. It's just like, hey, this game's coming to Xbox this year, right? Like that's some kind of, I think there's some kind of marketing slash, Game Pass slash whatever deal behind the scenes for some of the back catalog games. We also saw Final Fantasy 14 have some perks and stuff like that online. Final Fantasy 14 online have some perks with Game Pass Ultimate and stuff like that as well. I think there's definitely something bigger and grander, some kind of partnership deal, like I said, marketing, Game Pass, all that kind of stuff. That's going to kind of cement that they are going to be bringing their games here from now on, at least for the foreseeable future. I think their language when they stood up on stage and with Phil, when they said the games that we can or are going to put on Xbox, meant the games that they currently didn't have some kind of deals with that would prevent that from happening. And I think everything else going forward was going to be going to Xbox. A good example of one that they had a deal with still was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? So that was obviously one that they couldn't do anything about, and who knows what the part 3, maybe that'll be one as well, right? Obviously there's still some kind of things going on with PlayStation and Square because they couldn't mention the name Xbox in that press release when they said they're working on it for the other place, right?
Right.
But they wanted to get it out there somehow. So I think there's just genuinely something behind the scenes that has some excitement between Square and Xbox, and their relationship is growing and stronger than it was before. So we'll see that, and I think they're trying to cultivate it. I think they like what Xbox is doing, and they're looking at it for the grand scheme of things. Like, hey, this platform is everywhere. It's not just one isolated location. Maybe we can, especially with the Game Pass stuff and finding as many gamers as possible. If we do these things, like, it's going to help our brands other than just focusing on immediate return right away on this game on day one sales. Like, what's happening to our franchises, right? What's happening to our brands? What's happening to the identity of our company and our games? And then they're seeing this as an opportunity for growth. I think that's why the new CEO and the president had made their statements before saying that they're doing things differently. And I think this is what we're going to see. So there's still maybe some deals that we don't know about that have been behind the scenes that could create exclusivity for PlayStation, things that were already done. I'm crossing my fingers, hoping to God that Final Fantasy Tactics, whenever it is announced, is not one of those games.
Yep.
I'm hoping that is not one of the games that had been talked about and been done one of those deals before, but we'll see. So just because you see other games announced exclusive now potentially for PlayStation, those deals could have been signed a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even because this development for these games take forever, it seems like. So, but we'll see going forward, and I think it's just going to be a progress thing and get stronger and stronger. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think they're all in with Xbox. I think that they understand that that's the future, that you have to be everywhere. As many places as possible. They'll be all over the Switch 2 when the Switch 2 is announced. I think Square will be instantly there with all their games as well. I just think Square looked over at Capcom, Square looked over at Sega, Square looked at all these successful publishers, Bandai Namco from the East, and said, what are they doing that we're not doing? Oh, they're barely cutting any exclusivity deals at all. There are the oddball here and there games that skip Xbox or that or whatever, exclusive time, exclusive, whatever. There's the oddball, right? Ones, but for the most part, none of that shit is happening. Oh, well, that's how you're successful these days. Oh, we didn't get that memo. We missed out. We kept signing our stupid deals with Sony because they said that they were going to help us out. Yeah, that's not how you grow a fan base. That's not how you make sure that your IP stays healthy worldwide. No matter how much you want to say, well, it doesn't matter because it's just Xbox. It still matters. There's still, 30 to 50 million plus Xbox users out there in the world. That's not a small number. no matter how many people want to downplay it, it's still substantial.
Yeah.
And there's a fan base of those that is only Xbox. So it's important. And then Square learned their lesson the hard way. But they got new management, and I think they're all in on Xbox, and I think we're going to see more of these deals.
They learned the hard way, not be in bed with one company and expect their like it's just. I mean, they didn't even release 16 on PC at launch. You know, like it's just crazy to me.
Yep, it is crazy.
At this day and age, now to not even launch on PC, like I don't know. There's a reason why even the games that are reviewing well and people are saying are amazing, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, right? Like sold less and less, and why Square is always keeps being disappointed. So yeah, they made these changes in house for a reason.
I agree wholeheartedly. So, all right. Well, we crushed that. That actually went on a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. We got in some other interesting conversations there. Thanks, chat. You guys, appreciate you. Decato's in the house. What's up, Decato? Shane G, I see you. Shane G says, assuming that the Xbox really doesn't have a PC store launcher or Epic or Steam, they literally know PC game that won't be available on Xbox. Yeah. That's going to be their plan. That's going to be the master plan.
That's not gonna work.
That one-stop shop in the living room, sir. That one-stop box. That's, hey, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Plus add a handheld.
That sounds amazing.
Cool. That sounds amazing to me.
I got a question for you, but I know we're gonna move on. But if it's not in Game Pass, if Final Fantasy 16, if it's announced and it comes to Xbox, is there would you consider buying it, or is there a price point you would need it to be at, or something to consider diving in?
$30.
$30.
$30.
Be in on it.
Yep, I would. But again, if it's not, I mean, one way or the other, I'll play it on PC or I'll play it on Xbox, right? I'll see what the performance like is on Xbox. Yeah. That's gonna be another determining factor.
Yeah,
right?
It's one of those games that has weird performance stuff, but like it didn't bother me when I was playing it at all. So,
but if I can get it on PC cheaper,
yeah.
But yeah, no, let's just say I was still console only. And that was the situation. Yes, I would jump into Final Fantasy 16 at $30. I would do that. That's when I jumped into Final Fantasy 15 was at $30. Right? Because I didn't want to buy it out the gate. So I waited for the sale, waited. Now I wound up not liking it, not enjoying it, right? It was okay. But again, the boy band got old real quick. And I was like, yeah, it's not me.
I tried to play that game like 20 different times. And like every time I start, I'm like done within the first like hour. Like I'm like this is.
Steel loves that. Crazy.
Well, a lot of people, that was their first big entry into Final Fantasy, and
I just can't stand the boy band, bro. Anyways, but yeah, $30, I would jump into 16. Check it out. Again, I'm not all about it. The story wise, yes. Characters wise, love the character models and kind of love the also I've said the high fantasy Final Fantasy is my favorite. Final Fantasy most of the time. Now the outside one is 10, where it's a little oddball, but I love 10. But I just think that it looks great. It looks fantastic. Again, not happy about the simplification, not happy about necessarily the action oriented combat, but I would still jump in. $30. I'd still try. So let's see here. Mav. Well, we already kind of talked about this a little bit, Mav, but the Dragon Age release date did get announced along with the trailer, the updated trailer. Now, I believe we are also going to see the Veilguard again at Gamescom. I believe it is showing up there as well for Keeley and the crew. They're going to be talking a lot about Dragon Age leading up to its launch, which, Mav, it's a great launch day. I don't know why more games don't do this date, but I love it. And we've talked about this plenty of times. Like Redfall would have been perfect for, again, if we can't go back and relaunch Redfall. But anyways, October 31st, Halloween. Dragon Age is coming out. I think it's a great night to launch. I don't know why people are so scared of it. This day and age, trick-or-treating is done early. And my God, to have a brand new game, a big game waiting for you at home to go play on Halloween night, how dope is that?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool as hell.
For a
So
lot
I
of
would,
a lot of parents, their kids are out of the house, and it's like, hey,
yes,
I'm gonna
that
sit here
too.
and play Dragon Age tonight,
Dragon Age,
while my
yeah.
kids out
We're,
trick or treat.
we're putting the bowl outside. Take as much as you want, kids. That's fine. Take it all. I'm gonna play Dragon Age. No, I think this is a great day to have a launch. Again, not for me. Not interested in Dragon Age. I will once it comes to EA Play. I will check it out. But I'm still happy for everybody. And obviously, I think October 31st is awesome. Mav, what'd you think about the date? And more importantly, Mav, than the date, you said you did watch the new trailer. Now, you've already been excited for the game, right? I did see other people. Again, I'm not that guy just hates because it's not interesting to me. So I go read other people's comments. But Jez and a lot of people were actually saying, Mav, even if they were kind of on the fence about Dragon Age, they actually thought this trailer spoke to them more so than any of the other gameplay or any of the other trailers we'd seen. That this trailer actually brought a little bit of that old Dragon Age flavor to it, a little bit darker. And so I'm just curious about your thoughts on that.
I mean, overall, like Dragon Age has been a franchise where each game has been pretty drastically different than the other one to begin with, right? From Dragon Age to Dragon Age 2 to Inquisition, it's just been a franchise that's kind of like, hey, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. And it's never been a franchise where I thought they were going, where they went the direction I thought they would or should go. But every game that has come out, I've really loved and enjoyed. And for me, I think Veilguard is probably going to be that, because I see the trailer and I'm like, wow, it's gorgeous. Like, if I like try and like not judge the style for what it means for Dragon Age and all these other kind of things, and just look at the graphics and the beauty of the world and stuff, and it just looks like, hey, I want to be in that. It looks like a very highly polished, well-made AAA fantasy RPG experience, which for me is enough to get me excited, despite it being Dragon Age or something else. So watching the trailer, I see familiar characters, I see all this other kind of stuff that get me kind of excited for what's going on there. But I'm just looking forward to giving this a go and seeing how it captures me and captivates me. I think the October 31st, I think is a cool date to really release a game, Halloween here in the States. I think that it's a good timing. You have so jam-packed around there for a couple weeks. You have Call of Duty, you have Stalker 2, you have Assassin's Creed, I think it's coming out either right before that or right after it. I can't remember exactly for Shadows. Before that, you have Star Wars Outlaws, in September or late August. Man, it's just like, there's going to be about a 2-month period there where we're just like inundated with big games to play. So trying to find that sweet spot, man. And I think that they found as good of a date as they can. I think it's going to be probably talked about a lot because of the time period it's releasing, and also just how good it looks right now. So I hope it's great. I hope it's amazing. I liked what I saw.
That's good. Again, I watched the entire trailer, just tried to see if there was anything different. Like I said, that's how I knew Morgan was in it, and all that kind of stuff. Just didn't do anything for me. But again, to everybody's point, if the art style appeals to you, right? If the characters appeal to you in any way, shape, or form, the game itself certainly looks polished. The game itself certainly is pretty in the modern kind of video game sense, with bright colors, very what I want to say, contrasting palette of colors depending on whether it's day or nighttime. They do a nice job of bringing highlights to the monsters, all that kind of stuff. So if you like what you see, I totally understand why people are really excited for this Dragon Age. But the trailer did little for me other than the date, which again I thought was awesome. So shout out to Halloween. Getting a big game launch. I'd love to see it. It's going to be dope to hear everybody's thoughts on Dragon Age as we come up onto it. Again, so many good games like Mav just laid out coming up here. AC Shadows is 2 weeks afterwards, November 15th. After this game. And obviously we have Star Wars Outlaws prior to that. We got Age of Mythology. I mean, there's so many games in here. That Space Marine 2 comes out in September, the first week of September. Depending if you're getting early access, which I will. Steele and I are planning on taking that Friday off. Probably right now, I think we're both gonna have that Friday off, and we'll be able to stream it nonstop. Mav, maybe the 6th.
Yeah.
So yeah, full day of Space Marine. Let's go. But yeah, big game after big game after big game. Even without Dragon Age in my lineup, I still have freaking so much to play. It's not even freaking funny anymore. So I'm good. I'm good, but excited for Dragon Age. Glad to see the new trailer hit with a lot of people. Even some of the people that were on the fence. It really did its job. So again, on the upswing, I would say Dragon Age: The Veilguard is on the upswing, and Gamescom we should hear more about that. In fact, let me bring up the list from earlier this week of Gamescom. Let me see here. So let's start here. First of all, we'll go with the Mavs post. The Game Awards, of course, everybody's favorite, Jeff Keighley, made a post today confirming opening night live next Tuesday. For anybody who doesn't know, next Tuesday, they call it open night live, but it's 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Opening morning live. Well, it'd be
yeah.
What time is that?
2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern.
What time is it in Germany though? That'd be the 7.
In Germany, in Germany.
So that's why,
right? 8 p.m. Yeah. So, no, I know, I get it. It's funny when we see
time zones.
Oh, they made time zones. So it's American. Anyways, so he did confirm, or they confirmed Call of Duty Black Ops 6 for opening night live. Monster Hunter Wilds, which is looking freaking amazing too, for opening night live. Marvel Rivals opening night live. Dune Awakening, that's that MMO for anybody who forgot about that one. We're supposed to actually get some really big gameplay, and behind the scenes, some people who've had some early access to it say it's got some potential. Again, it's an MMO, is not going to be for everybody. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is going to be there. Oh, let's go. Choo choo, motherfuckers. Choo choo. And then Civilization 7 is going to be there for you Civ fans out there. I'm a Civ fan. I got Civ 6 now. I got to play. I got a couple places. I bought it super cheap on sale. I got to get it back into Civ again. But I can't wait to see that. So those are the games we're going to see opening night. And Keighley also came out and said there will be a couple new game announcements as well. I think he said as well. So there might be some surprises for opening night live. And then shout out to Jor Raptor, who put together earlier this week. Now, this might have changed a little bit depending on when he got all the information, but he's been keeping a list. This got put out on August the 13th, so 2 days ago. So here's all the big games confirmed for Gamescom. Now, remember, folks, Gamescom this year is giant. This is another showcase season right here, Mav. I don't have a problem calling it. Xbox is going to have 50 games there, Mav.
Yeah.
50 freaking games, Mav. Like that's
50.
That's like, bro, what?
Yeah.
This is not E3. This is Gamescom. This is massive. And people are bringing a whole lot because listen to this, all the big games. And again, this is August 13th. We've got Assassin's Creed Shadows, Theater Showcase. Monster Hunter Wilds, confirmed for obviously opening night live. Crimson Desert is going to be there. Can't freaking wait to see this game again. Crimson Desert is going to be freaking from Pearl Abyss. Everybody get ready to have your minds blown. Crimson Desert is going to be amazing. Starfield Shattered Space in the theater, of course. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, opening night live. I just read that one off. Star Wars Outlaws, get to see more of that. One of the delayed games we're going to talk about, we'll talk about my theory real quick a little bit later, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is going to be there. Metaphor Refantasio, which Mav is extremely hyped for. I can't wait to see it. I love the look of this game. That's the new Atlas game. Looks amazing. That's going to be there. Unknown 9 Awakening is going to be there. Avowed is going to be in the theater. Batman Arkham Shadow, unknown if playable. Sonic X Shadow Generations. Atom Fall, which looks
weird
and cool. It looks cool.
It's weird for Rebellion. It's just like a different kind of game for them, man. It has me intrigued.
It does. It's coming next year, and it's coming to Game Pass. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, which we're going to talk about because we got another showing of that. Tons of gameplay and how good that's looking. Little Nightmares 3. We got teased that, I think, last week. So we're going to have another new Little Nightmares. Dune Awakening. Epic Mickey Rebrush, which looks gorgeous if you're in the Mickey games. Rebrush was always a cool game. What they're doing with this just looks fucking so incredible, man. Ace Attorney Investigations Collections, Civ 7, Space Marines 2, potentially game of the year right there, folks. Not even joking around. Could be potentially up there for game of the year. Visions of Mana, which I played the demo and loved the hell out of the demo, by the way. Dustborn, Splitgate 2, which Mav, you guys were playing Splitgate quite a bit back in the day, weren't you? A couple years ago?
Yeah, when it was in like the early access or whatever. And we had fun with it. It was kind of like a knockoff Halo. It was like had portals and all this other kind of stuff. It was fun to play. And then they like took it away
and abandoned it to go make Splitgate 2.
Which
a lot of people are getting excited.
Really
again.
weird. But yeah.
I know.
I mean, I'm kind of over it, to be honest with you. I think it'll be interesting to see what they do with it. If it would need to make some huge leaps for me to get excited.
Right.
Because it was fun to play for a while it was there, but like I think this was like before Halo Infinite actually came out, and then like Halo Infinite came out, and I was like, okay, like the gameplay wise, like is just no comparison, you know.
They had so many concurrent players at one time.
Yeah, because this was earlier this generation and stuff, and like there just wasn't. It was in a time when there wasn't as many things coming out and all these other things, and it was like people looking for something to play, and there's this crazy Halo-ish looking Portal game that from this small team that was pretty well made. It was like pretty fun to play. It was kind of like arena shooter, you know, and like this is not bad. You know, we all had some fun with it. I don't like what they did though.
Yeah,
with like they should have just took that and cultivated and grew it. I didn't understand what the fuck they're doing with. So for that reason, I'm out.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Oh, we're gonna see more of Splitgate 2 is actually get the first showing.
We'll see. You know,
so
if it's like a huge success again, I'm sure I'll like dive back in at some point.
Of course. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero will be there. Diablo 4 Vessel of Hatred. Can't wait to see some more cinematics from that. Oh my god, I can't wait. Fallout 76 Milepost Zero. Marvel Rivals. Mecha Break, still having an absolute blast with Mecha Break. If you didn't catch the split screen last week, he had a gameplay all show long.
It looks like first descendant characters inside of mech suits.
Correct. It does because they're customized, but they're customizable. So like compared to whereas first descendants, you're locked in, except if you buy cosmetics. This is fully customizable, including your ass and your boobs, and they all have just jiggle physics. It's amazing. Anyways,
but you're in a mech, like most of the time.
In between,
just for the little scenes of like getting in the mech.
Yes, it's important. Anyways, so more Mecha Break there. Planet Coaster 2 will be there. Farming Simulator 25 will be there. Aura History Untold, which both me and Mav are super excited about from what they've been talking about, is going to be there. Age of Mythology Retold. Again, I played the early access or the beta or the demo, whatever you want to call it. You need some tweaking here and there, but overall, Age of Mythology's back, and I'm so freaking happy for it. It's going to be freaking awesome. Towerborn, we still don't know if that's launching this year yet or not. That's going to be there. Commandos Origins, which also looks really well done. Redoing the old Commandos turn-based. Date Everything. Don't remember what that one is. A new game from Little Nightmares developer Terrizzer Studios confirmed for. I thought it was we were just assuming that was Little Nightmares 3. Is it not? Okay. New game from Sega, unknown if playable. All games should be playable unless stated otherwise. Okay, so that's everything that we knew as of about Wednesday that was going to be there, and there's so much more, bro. This is just
it just says new game from Sega.
Yes.
So that's
new game from Sega.
So that's what we would assume was going to be a new game announcement at opening night
new
live.
Game announcement, or it could be one of the games that obviously playable one of the versions of their playable games that they talked about,
Right.
Crazy Taxi or whatever the case may be, Golden Axe, you know, that setup. It could be one of those, or it could be something brand's making new.
Yeah,
we don't know about yet.
I think when we were talking about Towerborn, I think it does hit this year, at least in like a early access or preview situation or something, because they had when Xbox just recently did the Avowed delay, they had the roadmap that they put out there, right? And they had doubled down on that at that point being this year. So I'm hoping with the Avowed delayed and them deciding to put that graphic out and stuff, that was them saying that this is, you know, the 21s that are 2024 are 2024.
Correct.
Right.
I hope so too. I do hope so.
We just had replaced also, which is a Game Pass day and date. It's not made by Xbox, obviously, but it's a Game Pass day and date game that a lot of people are excited, which is another game also at Summer Game Fest. A lot of people got to play.
Yeah.
And people were like, yeah, this is great. They think it was ready, and they, you know, all this other kind of stuff. But that got pushed to next year just recently also.
Yeah.
The delays. So
I know. And I'm just hoping there's no other ones. We'll talk about it here in a second.
Yeah.
I did want to also include, because Decado brought up a good point, did want to include the Xbox, actual Xbox at Gamescom live stream. They also put out their schedule, man, which is absolutely insane. So I'm going to read through this quickly. But just to give you an idea, again, this is going to be live streamed, right? The Xbox is streaming daily at Gamescom. Okay, so this is what they're going for. Wednesday, August 21st, Diablo 4, Vessel of Hatred, Diablo Immortal, Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, Atomfall, Starfield Shattered Space, Age of Mythology Retold, Overwatch 2, Forza Horizon 5, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Dustborn, and more. Thursday, Star Wars Outlaws, World of Warcraft, The War Within, Fallout 76 Milepost Zero, Towerborn, The Elder Scrolls Online, Gold Road, Fragpunk, Microsoft Flight Simulator, 2 Point Museum, Project Bird's Eye, Kill Knight. Oh God, that game looks dope too.
Have they officially announced 2 Point Museum yet?
It's here.
I know, but like the last one was 2 Point Campus, which was a Sega game that came into Game Pass day and date.
Yes.
I don't recall them ever showing or announcing 2 Point
up
Museum.
Today. I saw it showing up today in the feed, but I don't know if it was officially announced or if it just kind of got leaked because of Gamescom. I don't know. But anyways, it's out there now.
I've never heard Museum. I would have thought I would have remembered but
I know. Kill Knight, the first Berserker Kazan, Eternal Strands, Planet Coaster 2, Life is Strange Double Exposure, The Casting of Frakestone, Mecha Break, Little Nightmares 3, Date Everything, and more. Friday, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Avowed, Aura History Untold, Sea of Thieves, 33 Immortals, Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2, Metaphor Refantasio, Tales of Iron 2, Squirrel with a Gun, which is freaking crazy as fuck. I love that game. Path of Exile 2. Interesting. That's what Picado was pointing out. The First Descendant, Commando's Origins, and more. Bro, this is an E3 showcase week. Like, dude, if it wasn't the middle of the month, like if I could take off, I would take off. We could stream this every day. They're gonna be talking about so many games here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking games, man. I just looked it up. A 2 Point Museum got revealed yesterday.
Okay, so it was just yesterday. Okay, I missed it completely though.
Yeah, me too. It was like in a YouTube video on Xbox.
Oh,
like
okay,
yeah,
dope. Is it coming to Game Pass? Did they announce it? Game Pass?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. Okay.
It just says wishlist now, coming soon. It says Xbox Series X and S. But maybe that's the new Sega game, you know.
Yeah, maybe now that's the new Sega, because again, that was from previous in the week before that was announced. So
right.
Maybe that was the case. So
yeah.
That list I read off. So, but Map, this is third party, first party, and everything in between. Like this is like Xbox taking over again. What the hell is going on here, man?
But
we talked about
third party deals don't even care about putting their games on Xbox or doing things with Xbox, man.
Well, no, they just have 1 billion of them listed here, including Path of Exile 2, which is a shocker. Again, they own Diablo 4 now. but they're out here promoting Path of Exile 2.
It's like, hey, it's just fucking games.
It's like whatever.
Like
it's just games. Care. Yeah.
Hey, they'll do a deal with Battlefield. I guarantee. Like they had marketing the last Battlefield, right? So they'll probably market this next Battlefield, and they have Call of Duty, right?
Right.
Unless PlayStation actually tries to do it, but like if they have Call of Duty, they have Halo, and they'll probably market Battlefield. Didn't they market the Black Hawk Down game too?
Yeah.
So they're not really worried about competition to their own types of franchises. It's just like these are games. Buy them and play them on Xbox.
They're like games, and more games. And if that, I mean, they're just out here promoting whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
But I love that this is an entire showcase.
Yeah, I mean, we have multiple days of streams, shit tons of games, shit tons of big games, tons of third-party games. One that I see on this list, for some reason, there's like some here that have like small font and some have big font. I think the big fonts are like bigger first-party things that they're promoting, and then and one that was on here is the first Berserker Kazan.
Yes.
That's a game I remember seeing. I was like, oh, that one actually stands out to me. That's like a Soulsy kind of game, but that one, for some reason, the art style on that game was like, okay, I'm really looking forward to seeing more for that. So just looking at this list, there's so many games I want to know more about. I want to see more of Fragpunk because out of the hero shooters, it's the one that actually looks like possibly the most fun 5v5 type hero shooter for me to try and dive into. I played a little bit of Valorant. It's okay. It's kind of like Rogue Company, but first person in a way.
It is. But if you had a team, it's good. But
yeah, I think you gotta have a good squad people to communicate with. I think it's a solid game. It's, but yeah, Fragpunk seems interesting. Seems different. With the cards, with like the big head modes and all that stuff, kind of bringing back some silly fun to shooters and stuff. So kind of some of the stuff we used to get back in the day with games like Time Splitters and GoldenEye, or just random shit where they just put fun stuff in it. Like this kind of harkens back to that from what I saw from Fragpunk. Yeah, dude, there's so much here, man. I think even a game like you see on the first day that they have here, they're promoting a third-party game, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, right? I see so many people talking about Dragon Ball in this game because it is a huge franchise, a huge audience, and it's one that I just completely kind of ignore, right? But that's something that I think is big for Xbox to have marketing with and to showcase, because you'll have people like showing up to showcase it. Another game that was on here, that Dustborn game you mentioned, that looks pretty interesting. It's like, it looks Borderlands-y like style graphics. So many just random, awesome games that look. I'm excited to play, man.
It's just huge.
Metaphor is on here.
Yeah, Metaphor, and we're gonna be seeing We'll be seeing new footage, man.
Yeah,
they're not gonna be showing us the old footage at this. Right?
Yeah.
This is gonna be all brand new footage for all.
And probably some dev interviews and stuff like that too. Yes. Right. Isn't this where we learned like more about High on Life when it really showcased really well? I think it was at Gamescom. We had seen the original trailer, but then I think at Gamescom they actually like sat there and played it for like a long ass time, and there was controversy after because I think at Gamescom is when they showed the trailer with the person that looked like a kid, that the alien that looked like a kid that you found out was 30 something years old.
He was 30 something,
right? That met his demise. They can generate a lot of hype and excitement for the games based on what they show here. And I think they're obviously going big. They went huge with the developer direct already this year. They had their biggest showcase season ever, really. I mean, the showcase that they delivered this summer was absolutely bonkers. And then now you see this Gamescom live lineup with these multiple days of streams, and then also Keighley's show, knowing that they have a couple games showing there as well. That Keighley acknowledged is going to be there. It's just they're dominating the gaming landscape with games, man.
They are, and it's only going to get bigger and bigger. Yeah, it's going to get bigger and bigger. This is what we talked about all those years, Mav. If they got to this point, when they got to this point, with as much content as they had, IP coming, specifically Xbox, and the partnerships they were developing, that there was going to be all these different shows that they could use, right, on top of, E3, June, whatever you want to call it, E3 week, along with the developer directs that we talked about them finally creating, which they did do. But then we said they've got all these showcases. Right now, we know they're not going to have a big presence this year at Tokyo Game Show, which is a little weird. But they're not doing Tokyo. They have in the past. They've done Tokyo Game Show big, but Gamescom, this is massive, man. I can't believe how much they're going to have at this showcase, and they're streaming it every day. It's going to be fun next week. We're going to have a lot to talk about next week. So lots of gaming stuff to talk about. Lots of good looks at games that obviously we were already aware of, but we're going to get some release dates. Confirmed release dates out of this. We're going to get some new games too. Keighley did confirm. Yes, Nate. Keighley did say that there will be new game announcements here as well. So we will see new game announcements. But just kind of Xbox's roadmap is going to need to flesh out even more because a lot of these third-party games are going to get dates as well. And they're on the Xbox stage at Gamescom. Like they're in the playable versions. A lot of these are going to be playable on the floor at the Xbox show as well for Gamescom. So these are all strong partnerships, but again, doom and gloom, Mav. Doom and gloom this week because Xbox, potentially.
Why even have a console?
Next week, Gamescom might be announcing another big title coming to PlayStation, right? So it's over with, right? So
the amount of doom and gloom has been insane this generation.
Yeah, it's been such a weird generation too. Like again, like it is the most oddball generation we've ever had in terms of a lot of different scenarios. But how many times Xbox has been dead and come back to life?
Yeah, they're like
it's crazy.
The cycle of like, oh, they should just give up. They don't even deserve to be in the industry or like all this stuff. And then the next week they have some like huge fucking announcement of like how they're like basically taking over gaming.
Right. I love the hypocrisy, Mav, of people's statements throughout this generation.
Yeah.
Like that's what's gotten even funnier. Like people have pointed it out. Like,
I've seen so many people have complete
Xbox
180s.
is a monopoly. Xbox is a monopoly, but nobody plays Xbox anyway. Right. Oh, Game Pass is killing the industry. But nobody has Game Pass. Nobody buys it. So who cares, right? Nobody wants Xbox games. Xbox has no games to. Oh, well, yeah, that's gonna be great when they put over on PlayStation.
Right.
I don't need to buy an Xbox thing, bro. Like, make up your minds, man. Like, make up your minds.
It's like, just whatever makes sense for them to say towards a negative context towards Xbox at the time. Right. It doesn't matter what the realities are out there. It's just like, hey, what's the thing that is going to be the negative sentiment now? That's what I'm going to roll with. And these people will just change their minds and manipulate their own selves, I think, to believe that, whatever the current topic and trend is, without any kind of reality of what's actually happening in the gaming industry. And like you see it time and time again, and at what Xbox is doing, and you even see big games media with a lot of these takes and stuff, and it's crazy, man.
It is crazy, and I'm getting a little tired of the people that go, "Oh, well, we got a big show coming up, so here, of course, comes the rumors again." Well, do you guys not know that kind of goes hand to hand? Because if Xbox is going to make an announcement next week, like around Gamescom or during Gamescom, obviously there's people in the background talking about it because it might be part of one of their shows, right? So if they are going to do this, it makes sense that these rumors do pop up like right before E3 because there's a lot of talking about what they're going to be doing going on. Like that's like all the planning is happening. Like it just makes sense. But anyways,
it
doesn't matter. Go ahead.
This rumor came from Shinobi, which has been
Yes.
he's
Yeah,
been spot on a lot of times, right?
There's no reason to doubt him.
Yeah, and then it kind of spread out to where people were speculating a lot, and that led to a lot of people start talking about Forza Horizon 5,
Correct.
right?
Which
then
was complete speculation.
Right, but then I saw Jez's article saying that it's not Forza, but it is. He's trying to find out what game it could be, but he trusts that Shinobi is accurate because he's been accurate in the past, but like that's really all he has. So I don't know what game it'll be, but I do expect at least sometime soon for there to be another big announcement of another big game going to PlayStation.
Yeah. It makes total sense whether it is Starfield, Forza, or whatever. It doesn't really matter at this point. Again, as much as I hate it, as much as I despise what they're doing, that I want them to fight at this point, it doesn't matter. Like, but they're not dying. They're not going anywhere. Like, they're going to continue to do this, Mav. Like
500 million monthly active users, bro.
Right. And they want more.
Yeah, they're going for how many? They're going for like 2 bill, 3 bill, or whatever, right?
2 billion, 3 billion. But let's just be realistic and say,
right.
Okay, they're shooting for $1 billion internally.
Yeah,
I mean, that's obvious. They want $1 billion. They want to be able to come out and announce that they have 1 billion users in their ecosystem. Like that alone is mind-boggling. The 500 is ridiculous, but 1 billion would be the ultimate mark for them, I think. But yeah, they're going to continue.
Who are all these people? Because people don't play Xbox games.
Yeah, no, they don't. But again, now that Xbox is so big, they're everywhere. Even people don't know they're playing Xbox games, but they're playing Xbox games now.
Exactly. that is it. Right. And now that there's talk about other ones coming, they're like, oh, okay. Well, I actually have been excited, and I think that'd be a great game to come over to PlayStation. Right.
Right.
And you know what? If they do, guess what happens? People on PlayStation get to play the game that they haven't before. And what else happens with Xbox and Microsoft? They just keep doing what they're doing.
Yep.
And are we still going to get consoles in the future? Yeah. Yep. And it's just up to you if you see the value in it of it yourself, if you like what platform you decide to play on. If you decide that you're happy with waiting to play games from Xbox on other systems, or if you decide that you're like the other experience better, or if you like whatever. I think it's just what Xbox is doing. They're growing and expanding out to so many different things. They have these different publishers now that they've acquired. They have all these different studios. They're doing deals with every, seems like, publisher under the sun, like doing all the big marketing deals, doing different subscription services on their ecosystem, available through their services with like Ubisoft Plus and all that kind of stuff too. It just seems like they're just saying, hey, we want to be the place for games no matter where you play. And they're trying to have a hand in everything. And I think that will include console gamers in the future for the people that want to own Xbox consoles. And regardless of if whatever big game it is that's announced does not change my value myself for my consoles. And I've been consistent on that 100%. Like if early on, like people would ask like, well, what if it's like Halo or what if it's this? I'm like, okay. Might be actually better for the Halo. I don't know. Like I personally, I just want to play the game and like play it on where I want to play it. I'm more focused on wanting companies to do cross buy, cross progression, these other things that Xbox is doing. I'm celebrating. I want other companies to do that. I talked about it before. Like one of my harder decisions right now is where to buy Dragon Age later this year. Like, do I buy it on Xbox or do I buy it on PC? Because, like, I kind of want to play it on my PC, too, you know? But I'm going to have to make it... I don't want to double dip like I did with Dragon's Dogma. So, I'm gonna have to make a decision on that. Do I buy it on an Xbox? I don't want to have to make that fucking decision anymore. Like with Xbox, I don't. With their first party portfolio, any of these acquisitions that they make, it's you can play the games where you can access them, right? And they're expanding and working more on that. So if somebody else that owns the fucking PlayStation gets to play a game, do I really care? No, because it doesn't affect me at all, right? Do I think that Microsoft could be shortchanging themselves with some console sales? Probably.
Yep.
Does that mean they're getting out of the console business? No.
Nope.
It's completely two different things. Does that mean that third-party companies aren't going to be putting their games on Xboxes anymore? We're actually seeing the opposite trend in the industry this generation.
Correct.
There's some that skip, like they always have. There's some that skip PlayStation, some that skip Nintendo. Obviously, if you want to really talk about who skips what platform most, it's Nintendo because they don't have something that can run most of these games, right? But yeah, the Xbox gets skipped sometimes. It's annoying and frustrating. They've been working on it. You know, they've been doing deals to counteract that and balance it out. And overall, is there a shit ton of stuff to play on Xbox? There's a lot, and especially if you have a Game Pass subscription, the value you get there, dude. Like, I'm not fucking complaining about somebody else on a PlayStation getting to play a game. I could care fucking less, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
but
you're correct.
I get that there's people that care. So
yeah, no, I get it. And Calorie says, plus if I buy them on Steam or Epic, I can play them on my ROG Ally with my saves working on it, my PC. Correct.
Yeah.
That's the bonus stuff that we talk about here. That, you know, again, we've been in the Xbox ecosystem for so long with cross saves, cross progression, you know, cross buying, that's all normal to us. And again, it's wild when you go in the PlayStation ecosystem and remember that your saves are still locked behind a paywall. Like that, your saves, just your regular old PlayStation saves are locked behind a paywall, and you can lose them if you don't pay up. Like that.
Yeah.
That's so wild. That's why, again, to Mav's point, I keep expanding. Keep doing your thing, Xbox. The more the merrier. Like, you know, again, it's as a gamer, pure and simple, as a gamer, get the most value easily out of Xbox. And the more they go, the bigger they go. If they do this hybrid system and include other ecosystems, all that kind of stuff, there's even going to be more possibilities and potential for even more value added to what I use their box for, and being in their ecosystem. So yeah, I'm all for this. But you know, as far as PlayStation, whatever announcement this is, again, it is going to be what it is.
So if it's not Forza, what is it?
That's why I said they said it's a big game. So it could be Hellblade 2.
Okay.
They could have developed a PlayStation 5.
That was the one that I think wasn't it Riskit that was going on about that he said that he had heard that. Yeah.
Would it shock anybody? Like Hellblade 2 was great. It was a showpiece, showed off the system. Did it move consoles? Did it move Game Pass? Probably not, right? To be real, probably not. It's a beautiful game. It's a great game, obviously. But would it shock anybody that one was ready to move to Sony, to PlayStation? Would it do anything? No. The first one was on PlayStation, right? The first one was PlayStation exclusive for a bit, right? So we know that before they were bought. So that would, you know, make a lot of sense. Would it shock me if Starfield, a year later, after their first expansion drops and after they added all this stuff to the Xbox side of things, right? Got the 60 frames mode in there, got the mods up and running on Xbox and all this kind of stuff. The Creator Club is in there. Would it be surprised, shocked that Bethesda, again, nobody said it was going to release. Everybody just says announcement. So would it shock me that if they made an announcement coming next week at Gamescom with Shattered Space, that people next year are going to be playing Starfield on PlayStation 5? No, it wouldn't shock me at this point at all. Right? Phil said all along he was going to find a way to make Starfield the biggest launch ever, biggest game, I should say, in general, ever for Bethesda. Well, they already had their biggest launch with Game Pass, right? And PC. So if he wants to continue that trend, then why wouldn't Bethesda? Why wouldn't a Starfield go elsewhere? Again, people can scream and holler. Again, if it was my choice, I wouldn't do it. Everything would be exclusive. I wouldn't be playing this game at all. But in the reality of what they're doing right now and the evolution of Xbox, wouldn't shock me in the least if Starfield showed up. Wouldn't shock me in the least if Halo Infinite was ready to rock and roll, man. Like, why would it? Right? Why, at this point, why would it? Again, I'm expecting the next Gears. I'm expecting E-Day to be multi-plat. If they do a Phoenix collection, I'm expecting the Phoenix collection.
Are you expecting E-Day to be multi-plat day and date?
Potentially, yes. Perfect. It's a prequel. And then you launch it. It depends when the Phoenix collection is going on. But then you launch the Phoenix collection afterwards. Everybody's primed for it.
Yeah.
Even on PlayStation.
I don't think it'll do. I think Gears will probably be exclusive, at least timed for a while.
Surely, again, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not,
but the multiplayer side, we don't know what that's involved yet. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
And multiplayer makes total sense to bring it everywhere, right? So Gears would be. Steel and I said, bring them on, man. More people to wall bounce shoddy against, man. Holy shit, man. Can you imagine PlayStation folks walking in there?
Yeah.
Holy shit. They ain't seen nothing like that. PlayStation only dudes trying to drop into a Gears game. Yo.
I mean, Hellblade, I could.
Hellblade, yeah.
That's a good one. I wasn't really thinking about that. You know, that's one that, like I said, Risket had heard about before. I remember him being like doing videos and stuff, being upset about it and all that kind of stuff, right? And maybe that's it. It has a history on PlayStation as well for the franchise. The first game came out first on PlayStation.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
So it's very possible that could be that. And it did not sell very well at all.
No.
So maybe they're looking to make more money there and find an audience. That's cool with me. I could care less. I hope as many people get to play that game as possible because I think it's a really good game. I saw the chat saying things like State of Decay 2.
Yep.
That maybe, that could be one. I saw Calorie say Killer Instinct. That'd be crazy.
That would be crazy.
After all this time, like Iron Galaxy comes back, they do the improvements and get it back kind of up to kind of somewhat of a modern standard, and then put on PlayStation. I'm for that because that even would add more fuel to the fire that we're gonna get a sequel for me, right? But yeah, it could be Starfield Shattered Space,
yeah,
right? It could be
next year,
yeah,
next year launch.
I don't know, man. There's so many possibilities. Only reason I don't want it to be Starfield is because of that fucker. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy just like right? That. Yeah, for like those, like for that year of him just griefing everybody, of just like being an asshole to so many people.
He already is. He is already. He's just. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter at this point. Again, there's always. It doesn't matter what they announce. It's going to be the same shit, right? Because if it is one of their big titles, it's one of their big first part. It doesn't matter if it's Forza Horizon. It doesn't matter what it is. It's going to have that. Oh God. Yep. See, I told you. It's only a matter of time.
Once Xbox started doing this, it's like they opened it up. So maybe Age of Empires. I don't think
why. Nobody PlayStation players do not play RTS.
It's true.
If we can sit here and talk about first person shooters.
Age of Empires.
We can talk about a lot of things.
Age of Empires 2 was actually on PlayStation back in the day.
It was back in the day, right?
Yeah.
But they have been so far removed from being anything close to a PC game playing machine forever, man. Like that would be nuts if it was Age.
But maybe that's why it would be kind of interesting for me to see, like, like, hey, try and cultivate this audience that doesn't have any of these kind of games over there. The flight sim would be interesting too. If that were to happen, that would mean the flight sim 2024 would be probably going to PlayStation as well.
Yeah.
It's fun to think about what game it could be for a big game, right?
Yeah.
I'm curious what would happen to the Halo Infinite multiplayer scene
if they went over there.
If PlayStation audience got access to Halo Infinite and actually got to play it and feel the gameplay and play the game and actually see like what a quality gameplay is there with the Forge mode and all that kind of stuff in there too. Like my mind, like in a weird way, like I know Xbox fans would hate me to say this, but like my buddy here, Master Chief, right? In a weird way, I just want to see fucking what would happen. I want to see what would happen if Halo actually showed up on a PlayStation, and what would happen to the multiplayer scene and the community. Like, it would be insane, dude. So, I don't know, man. It would just be nuts. It would be nuts. Like it would be a really crazy, fun, interesting time that a lot of people would absolutely hate. But would it maybe be best for Halo?
Is it best for every multiplayer game? Is it best for every multiplayer game to be everywhere at this point, man? To give yourself the best chance. This isn't the old days. You can't support a multiplayer game per se on one fan base. It doesn't work anymore. There's too much competition. There's way too much pulling from other games to keep people on. You need the biggest pool of people to try to pull into your game when you're a multiplayer game. In this day and age, absolutely, man. Like I said, that's why I won't be shocked if Gears is. Like, if they want Gears multiplayer to come back and survive, gotta open it up, man. You have to. Man, Danny Passion Official with the $5 comes on in here and says, if I can play their game on PC, I don't care if it's on PS5, your fridge, your Tesla, etc. It's about the games, not about the consoles anymore.
Yeah,
100%. Again, I still would love to see the competition because I think it does breed some good stuff when there is direct one-on-one competition. But overall, Danny, at the end of the day, as just a pure gamer who's been accused of being a pony bot, who's been accused of being everything underneath the sun, right? Just because of how I talk about gaming, I agree with you wholeheartedly. As a gamer, just keep making me the good games. I don't care where the fuck I play them. If I got an opportunity to play it, I'm going to play it. That's what I want to do. And it's going to be whatever game I want to play, whatever game interests me. I don't care where it comes from. I don't care who makes it. And I don't care what piece of plastic it's attached to. Doesn't matter. I just want a chance to play it. So the more places, the better for me too. I agree with you. Again, I still have the old competitive fire in me. I like the old competition. I like what it used to do when we had Sega Nintendo at each other's throats. I do still think that there is something of value that is lost in all of this when they've gone this route. But overall, at this point, like I said, they're not stopping. It's the evolution, man. So whatever. Do it.
Also earlier we had a $2 super chat from Highlander 001.
Thank you.
Who said, this is the first COD beta in 30 years open to all. 30
Crazy,
years,
isn't it?
30.
Crazy.
30 years goes back to 1994, but way time before Call of Duty. But hey, that's still a true statement. Maybe
close.
For early, there's times when the Call of Duty beta has been everywhere, but like for the at launch of the Call of Duty
all
beta,
of them have been timed. Whether Xbox had the marketing rights or
but what I mean is
like
there's PlayStation's had the like, hey, beta earlier.
Yes,
but then it's open. But then it's open to everybody. So you're talking about launching the beta at one time, then this will be the first time since a very long time. Yeah, for sure.
Xbox had the map packs first. Jesus.
Yeah. Alvin, member for 26 months, says Halo Infinite on PS5 next week nukes Concord launch. They wouldn't fucking stand a chance. I mean, also, like, I think it would actually really eat into the Destiny players over there as well. Like,
it would eat into any Helldivers 2 players that are left. It would eat into a lot of their players if that showed up. Look at what Sea of Thieves did. Sea of Thieves proved it, and Sea of Thieves is Sea of Thieves is big, But when you think of multiplayer and stuff, it's like, okay, let's see a Thieves, right? It's a very unique experience. But Halo, classic first-person shooter action over on PlayStation, yeah, you're talking about a whole different level, I think, for all the players who aren't here in the community and claim that Halo sucks. There would be a huge amount of players who haven't owned an Xbox in a long time that aren't a part of this community that would just go, holy shit, I get to play Halo again, and fire that sucker up. It would be a big influx of players, man.
Yeah.
It'd be fun for all you Halo players.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. Let me see here. Nate Dogg said, I'm playing GTA 4. I'm surprised Xbox had the marketing back in the day. Peter Moore was super hungry running Xbox. And Peter Moore was a genius. Peter Moore was, like I said, who I would be if I was in Phil's position. I would be Peter Moore. Peter Moore loved the competition. Peter Moore loved the console war. He loved to fight it that way. So, but yeah, he made some deals that were genius back in the day. And GTA with his tattoo was one of those. So, we did get 2 delays this week too, Mav. By the way, we got 2 delays. So replaced Indie Darling. We've all been waiting on seemingly for years, since almost like the beginning of the generation. It feels like when we first saw Replaced. I know it wasn't that early, but anyways, we've all been waiting for this game. Push to 2025. Push to 2025. No official date. Just they put out a statement this week saying that basically, I'm paraphrasing, dev work is harder than it looks, and that we just need more time to get this game right. So they had a demo earlier this year. Some people played it at one of the shows. I think it was at the E3. At the showcase, some people got to try it out and said it definitely had a ton of potential, but there was some people who mentioned a little bit of rough spots. It sounds like they're going to smooth those out. So that's going to be delayed till 2025. Sucks. Coming to Game Pass day and date. But next year, okay, fine. Big one, Mav. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Now, this is where my conspiracy theory is going to come into play, Mav.
Okay.
I'm gonna. It just doesn't have to be a big, long, deep dive or anything like that. But I'm starting to get this feeling. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, for anybody who doesn't know, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 shocked the world. It was announced just earlier this year out of the blue, right, by Arn Horse. And then they said, coming 2024. Everybody's like, what? Wait, what? This year you guys are, what? It's the first time we're seeing the game. And they were like, oh, yeah, no, definitely coming this year. Well, it's not. And there's a couple funny things here, Mav. So there's my conspiracy theory, but then there's something else. So they came out this week prior to Gamescom because everybody knew they were going to be at Gamescom. Everybody knew that they were supposedly going to have a release date. And they came out, put out a video and said, yeah, tried our hardest. We were real close, but we didn't make it. So we're delaying Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 till February 2025. Nav, what just got moved to February 2025?
Avowed.
What did you say when we had our Avowed discussion, Mav?
I said it doesn't make any damn sense to move any things to February because what happens every fucking year is like a lot of big games get moved to February. So if you ever decide to, this is why, like, you just put out your game when it's ready,
January,
right?
January, yeah.
Just put out your damn game when it's ready.
Yeah.
Because what happens is you move it, other people still move on top of you. There's just too many fucking games all the time now. There's like if you were release a game like this week, it would have been a good week, right?
Yep.
You know, so but you can't predict those holes a lot of times in the business. So it's like, I just think that if they say the game's ready, this is why some of it I think is BS too. Like I think this is like marketing, like trying to save like a little bit of a win here. Like, hey, we just have too many games, so guess what? We're gonna move something out of the way to make room for it. Like it's an easy way to put a positive spin on something just being delayed, right?
Yes.
Because it's creating sentiment through the community and everybody is creating the same talking points. Like, hey, guess what?
Xbox is on my conspiracy theory.
Kicking so much ass right now. We just got to move shit out of the way. There's so many games, right? But we're moving to February. Guess what? Next February fucking happens. You're gonna have like 4 big games get delayed into January, February.
Now you got a big RPG. Now you got a big RPG beside you.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
Yeah, it's like before people were saying it was because Stalker 2 got delayed. What, like you could say Stalker 2 and Kingdom Come Deliverance are kind of
right.
gonna have,
Like I said, now that Dragon Age
is
is October 31st, they probably knew that one too. So that makes a little bit more sense to me as well, right? Because you got that right 2 weeks prior. So that makes a little bit more sense to me. But now you just walk right into another RPG. Again, there's no good times anymore. Like you can't work around this. But anyways, you did pick up on my conspiracy theory, and this specifically is to some publishers and devs. Now, again, you all can call me jaded, old guy, whatever, been around too long. You've seen things that aren't there. But I'm going to throw this out there. I think there are devs and publishers. And again, I'm not going to specifically state that this is everybody doing this. But at this point, 2024, now that we as consumers have been brainwashed for years and years and years into thinking that delayed games are better, and you see it instantly now, people all come out in unison. Oh, take your time. Take your time. Do what you need to do. We don't want any more broken games out here.
Yeah.
Let it keep cooking. Let it keep cooking. You guys look like you're doing great. Just let it keep cooking. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for letting us know ahead of time. That's cool, right? Got plenty of games. No worries. Got plenty of games. Just do your thing. Now that that has become the norm, right? And my little entitled rant last week about Avowed is not the norm anymore. I think there really are some devs and publishers who do this on purpose. I think Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was on purpose. I think that they knew for a fact they were never going to make 2024. I think they already knew how full 2024 was, but they wanted to get the hype rolling as Deliverance 2, and they did exactly that, man. Because they caught everybody flat-footed when they first announced it, because it was the first time we had seen it. We had heard rumblings they were working on it, but we didn't even know for officially that they were working on number 2. People were hoping for it. They come out of the woodwork, out of the blue, announce it, and then say, oh, and we're coming 2024. And everybody's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Another huge RPG this year? What? Holy shit. Everybody starts talking about they've done a magnificent job showing off the game, starting their marketing run, all that good stuff. But I kid you not, it's not just them. I think this is a new ploy that they have found, like you said, Matt, get you the hype, right? And then when it's time to delay, as long as you do it in the right amount of time, right? As long as you don't hold it too long, if you do it right, you just get a whole lot of positivity and a whole lot of what I was just talking about.
It's just part of the marketing budget, the delay.
Right. Right.
Like, all right, so we're going to announce it here. We're going to announce it for Q3 of 2024. And then what we're going to do is when it gets about 2 months away, we're going to say, hey, guess what? Yeah, we appreciate you guys, and we really got to make sure this is the best experience possible. You got plenty of other shit to play. So we're going to move it to Q1 2025. Hey, and guess what? It's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for us. It's going to be better for the game. Better for everybody. Then it gets closer to Q1 2025. Hey, guess what, everybody? We really appreciate you and everything and your excitement for this game. But we think we need just a little bit more time to give you the best experience possible for our game. So we're going to move it to Q2. Just a few months delay. It's not too much longer. And everybody's like, oh my God, I've been waiting so long for this game. Oh my God, it was like everything looks so good and it's going to be so polished at launch. Oh, it's going to be amazing. They're doing right by all of us. Hey, let's go buy it day and date. Let's go get behind these devs who are treating us with respect and dignity.
Bro, it's so true. I'm telling you, I just, the minute that because I said it when they announced Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, that I was like, come on, they really saying 2020. They haven't showed us anything, and they're really going to say 2024. And then now with this case, I just all made sense. It all clicked in. I'm like, oh, yeah, of course. Just a little delay till February. No big deal. Just like Avowed. Avowed was completely ready. They told us that. Like, again, it was just because it's such a log jam. There's such a traffic jam at the end of the year that Microsoft had to move Avowed. But for Kingdom Come, it was like, oh, we were this close. This close. Just couldn't quite make it. He literally did that. Just this close. We didn't quite make it, so February is when we're going to launch. Bro, I was like, bullshit. You guys knew how packed this year was. You had no intention of launching this year. You knew you were going to go the early part of 2025, which is a great time to launch. That is now a proven fact. There is no dead zones of video games anymore. So you're not missing out on anything. Plus, you'll be up for Game of the Year next year, right? You'll get that early run next year if your game is that great, which a lot of people are expecting Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 will be that great. You'll be in the awards talk. Perfect, bro. It's perfect.
Yeah.
And you get all the flowers for delaying it, being brave, and putting it back in the
It's funny.
It's better for us.
It's just funny. It's like every game gets delayed pretty much. Like, it just seems like it. I there's so much to play. I don't care. Right. If they
I don't care. But I think it's funny that this is now a thing.
Yeah. When I see these cover letters on Twitter, it became a thing it became a big thing this generation, really early on. You started seeing those. Like, it started with Cyberpunk. The first.
Well,
how many of those?
Definitely not marketing.
That's for sure. But how many of those cover letters did we see for Cyberpunk? Oh. And anytime we saw it, I was like, oh shit, what happened now? Right? Oh, another delay. Right? But like, you see every studio have these like, hey, let's on our letterhead, this like image and write this sentiment from the developers, put it out there, and it's become like just a thing now to almost expect for a lot of games, and it's interesting. I don't know, like some of these that get delayed still launch broken. Some of them launch super polished, and I don't know all the decisions that go into when to release these games. I just think when the game's done, release it. And don't announce the release date until you are pretty sure about it.
I agree.
That seems the simplest thing to do, right?
Yep.
And if you want to if you need to give people an idea, just be honest with people. Like, hey, you know what? We're targeting this. Targeting is a word that's used a lot. If you're targeting, it's not really delayed. If you miss it, you're just targeting it. Like, it's, you're not cementing it in ink or anything like that.
No, I agree.
But it's funny, they say, hey, we're launching this year. 2 weeks later, I've seen these things happen like 2 weeks later. You'll have like an announcement at a game showcase, and you'll have like 2024. Then you'll be like 2 weeks later, hey, guess what, guys? We may have jumped the gun on that date a little bit. We're going 2025. You've seen games get fucking canceled right after showcases. You remember Scalebound? Scalebound, yes. We had the big showing at the showcase, and then it was like, oh wow, Scalebound. They're like, Scalebound's coming to you, and it's like they're all promoting and excited.
Just
and
kidding.
What was it? It was like less than a month later. It seemed like it was like, hey, we found out that they haven't even been working on this fucking game for a couple of years now. They've been spending the money on other things, so we don't know what to do. Sorry, everybody, we're canceling it. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. You find out stuff that happens behind the scenes.
Can't believe you brought up.
I brought up Scalebound. That game will always get brought up in some form or fashion. I want it to.
I do. Let's get on to another game that was delayed. That's been delayed multiple times for very good reasons, obviously. And one that we all said, hey, whatever. If you ever launch this thing, cool. Like, just let us know when you're gonna launch it. Cool, whatever. And of course, that's Stalker 2. We got a big blowout this week. 35-minute deep dive this week, Mav. Yo, how much did you watch it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't watch it. I kind of skimmed through it and stuff, and just to see different parts. But bro, it looked.
Shinobi did a great breakdown, as he always does. When he goes through these videos, I love his breakdowns because he gives us a point by point kind of. He doesn't catch everything, but he gives us a really good breakdown of things like this. So I'm just going to read off his breakdown. Anybody who did not go watch the deep dive of Stalker 2, if you have any interest in Stalker, I highly recommend you go watch this because it's going to give you a really good idea of moment to moment what you can expect in this game. A lot of it's going to feel similar if you played Metro. A lot of it is going to appear similar if you played Metro. However, the devs do talk about some of the stuff that they're doing in this game, which if you are aware of the difference between the two studios and the two games themselves, you're going to pick up on that right away. Stalker 2 is definitely, I think, leaning into the old Stalker more so when it comes to decision making and leaving up the gameplay to you because they're giving you pretty much wide open. This is an open world game for the most part. You're not going to be locked out of anything. You can go wherever you want to and explore whatever you want to, but they specifically in this video talked about the exploration, about rewarding people for going and exploring as being a big part of it. And also, Mav did talk about how every little thing that you decide could have a butterfly effect throughout the game and the story as you play it. Deciding to do one thing to help one person while not helping another person could greatly affect what happens to you down the road in certain situations. That is from the old Stalker. And that's what I always talked about with the old Stalker. If you ever played the old Stalker, consequences, choices and consequences were massive in that game. And it sounds like the team really went for that. But let me give you this breakdown real quick and I'll get your opinion on what you did skim through there, Mav. Again, this is from Shonobi 602. Shout out to him. It says the zone is a huge open world consisting of 20 regions, each with their own residents, architecture, nature, and anomalies. There are almost no barriers in the game, free to explore any location. Built to give the feeling of freedom, loneliness, and anxiety. Nearly 3 hours worth of cutscenes in the game. No leveling system. The team wanted players to feel progress by gaining better knowledge of the environment, improving reactions, etc. 35 weapons that can be modified and upgraded with attachments. You play as Skiff, a common person with a very complex destiny. He is not a superhero. You have to watch Skiff's status as he may get hungry or need to sleep. Ignoring them reduces your efficiency. You can become overloaded if you try to carry too much equipment. One quest in a swamp has you turning off psi beacons. Bayan the cat is a powerful mutant that hides in an abandoned church in the swamp, mimicking other stalkers that cry out for help. Players will get different stories depending on the choices they make, encouraging multiple playthroughs with different quests and characters. Player progression is rewarded through off-the-path exploration and finding new weapons, weapon attachments, items, upgrades, etc. One enemy is a pseudo dog that creates a pack of other phantom dogs. Killing the pseudo dog gets rid of the phantoms. Another is a zombie-like controller who raises the level radiation around the area with each attack. Not all anomalies are harmful. Some can provide soft landings to avoid getting hurt while falling. Lightning strikes can hurt you as well as enemies. Variety of factions. Loners prefer to remain alone or in small groups. The duty are committed to military discipline and order. Factions in the game can sometimes change their leadership or break up. That was a bit of what was shown in the gameplay. Some of the stuff, the physics, Mav, and the mechanics, how there's these pockets of gas that you got to, throw out these little flares, and they explode the pocket of gas and show you where these pocket of gas are. Well, you can actually use those when the dogs were attacking. You can get them to run over those things and they get thrown up in the air and way over elsewhere. Lots of cool stuff like that. Lots of stuff you expect. Lots of stuff I didn't expect when I was watching the video. It was really starting to come together for me and looking polished. That's what I got out of the gameplay. All the other gameplay we've seen up to this point kind of seemed good, but it seemed kind of broken up. But this was solid, just 35 straight, and everything all fit together. It all seemed to be working properly. Again, there was a lot going on with the factions, with the different things, people that he was meeting, that they were finding when they were exploring. Just lots of cool stuff that I love to see in my open world games. What did you think about the stuff that you did see?
It looked like this ultra realistic, kind of gritty, great graphics. Gunplay is going to feel impactful and realistic, and you're going to be trying to survive in this freaking wasteland, man. It just looked awesome, dude. It looks like a world I want to dive into and just explore and go around and find things and get into situations. And it seems like that's what the game's all about. I love the elements that it has to bring that ultra realism to it. That separates it from the other open world shooters that are out there, right? That are more hey, run and gun, kind of, fast paced. This is about immersion. This game is about, it's got an RPG, but they're removing the RPG elements, which makes it even feel more real, right? It's about being in this place, in this time, in this situation, and here's what's happening. Here you go.
Yep.
Right? And I love that about it. I love that separates it from the other games that are out there, and that's what's most intriguing to me. And there's kind of not really a game out there like it. That's a bigger, more bigger budget type game like this that is really gonna go all out with this kind of huge world and stuff. I've seen some some of those games, kind of like Chernobyl was one and stuff like that. They kind of these double A or indie smaller games and stuff.
Announced number 2, by the way, for Chernobyl Light.
And trying to do some of the similar thing, but this is taking that and going this is how you do it, right?
Yeah.
So
correct.
I'm looking forward to playing it, man. I like what I see. I liked everything that you broke down. I had broken down that same stuff on FSP on Monday from Shinobi, and I just overall, this game has elevated on my. After reading everything, after seeing the clips, the graphics, detail, this game has elevated on my list. I don't know if they've broken down performance and stuff yet, or what to expect there. I'm a little interested to figure out what that's going to be like on console. But
hopefully they got a nice. Hopefully it's good. It's better than
graphically. It's impressive.
Yeah, graphically it's Unreal Engine. So it does look gorgeous. Yeah, Decado, can't wait to see how many people try to play it like COD and get slapped with how utterly different it is. Yeah. You can't. That run and gun is definitely more sim survival, right? It's like a sim survival Fallout game is what it is. It's very without the RPG elements, right? It's just like Mav said. It's very realistic. You got to be careful. You're running out of ammo most of the times unless you're exploring a lot and get lucky. You got to know what you're getting into, and you can't just rush into things. You're gonna get knocked around, and you're gonna die very quickly. So, but yeah, I can't wait for Stalker. Shout out to Brother Psychonauts. Brother Psychonauts, being the tech head he is, he wants us to throw out what he calls breaking news for all you handheld owners out there, Steam Deck owners specifically. So just real quick, again, Mav and I are going to break this shit down. But anyways, Valve has now released the APU, SD card reader, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and audio drivers. So it's easier for people to install Windows on Steam Deck now. So there you go. Valve making it easier and easier on their Steam Deck. So if you're into that and you want to get it to try to get Windows on there, cool. And as Psycho said in the DMs, it's big for people who are not Linux savvy. Linux is what I'm assuming he was going for there. Lynx is the Atari Lynx was an old handheld. I don't think he's talking about that. I think he's talking about Linux. But yeah, so there you go, making it easier for the people on Steam Deck, like he said. So that's pretty damn cool. Shout out to Valve. Valve also has a new game, if anybody didn't know. So that was leaked this week. According to some people, that shouldn't have been leaked. Tom Warren leaked it. Said it wasn't an NDA. There was an NDA. He got banned by Valve. He's probably on a list by Valve. Probably on a hit list. Might not have Tom Warren around anymore soon. Don't know. Valve's pretty serious about this shit. But anyways, yeah, they got a new game that's being played by like 12,000 people currently on Steam.
Yeah.
So, and supposedly it's a mix of all the games you think it's going to be a mix of.
It's crazy that a game that doesn't even exist, that people don't even know the name about, has more concurrent 12 times more concurrent players than Concord did.
It's true. Because Valve. So anyways, so that did happen this week as well. So I wanted to throw that out there. Poor Tom Warren. Poor Tom Warren.
Tom's just doing his job, Valve. Come on, Gabe. What's going on, Gabe?
Right over the coals, bro. Yeah. As we talked about, Delta Force Hawk Ops is garnering a lot of praise right now from a lot of different places, including one of our own Game Pass dad, who again isn't one of those guys that hypes up every game at all. So just real quick, I wanted to worry. Jesus, I'm reading the article while I'm talking. I wanted to read this article real quick from Insider Gaming to kind of give people an idea. Again, I was excited for this game, for the campaign, for the Black Hawk campaign, because they actually bought the rights to the script for Black Hawk down so that they can recreate it in game. Like, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to that shit. Like that. Yes, count me in. I'm all about that. And it's probably going to be a expansion. It's actually going to cost money for that single player campaign. Whereas the multiplayer is free to play, I believe, Matt, right? This is a free to play multiplayer.
I'm not sure.
Damn sure.
I'm not sure.
Pretty damn sure I remember reading that. But anyways, this is from Insider Gaming, and this is from Grant Taylor Hill. He says Delta Force Hawk Ops is the best Battlefield game I've played in years. Don't worry, that's not a typo. I've recently jumped into the alpha for Delta Force Hawk Ops, and to give the game credit, I have been having a blast. For an alpha, it's remarkably well built, and the team at Teamy Studio has gone so far as to introduce some live service elements, even though it's just a testing period. Yeah, I think this is a free-to-play. However, I can't get away from the fact that it feels like I'm playing Battlefield 2042 from the maps and modes to the UI and the specialist characters, and from the land, sea, and air combat model to the core mechanics. Everything feels like a Battlefield game. And Mav said he was watching Game Pass, Dad, and said, yeah, it looked like
it. It looked like I was watching Battlefield.
Battlefield, yeah. Right. It says not unique enough. I'll be frank, Delta Force Hawk Ops has serious potential. I've had more fun playing this than most of the other shooters that have emerged in the last few years. It looks fantastic. It runs well, and everything from the weapons to the characters feels solid and well thought out. It would be great if it didn't look like a reskin Battlefield 2042, though. Those familiar with EA's most recent Battlefield will look at some of these screenshots and believe it's a 2042 menu. Yeah, now that I'm looking at these screenshots, again, these companies, people had this problem with First Descendant. Listen, yeah, they're gonna take from other games. Like, it's okay. Like, if the game itself is still like stands on its own, like if they're gonna take some of the UI elements and they're gonna copy some things here and there from other games that are popular, just to give it that familiar feel, I'm okay with it. But yes, looking at this menu screen, I would have thought this was a brand new update to 2042. Not gonna lie. But I'm cool with that. It gets a little bizarre. Even the choice of font and the color palette and the iconography look like Battlefield 2042. Yeah, aesthetic. I totally admit that. One of the main game modes sees attacking teams attempt to capture objectives while defending teams try to hold them back, which is a mirror copy of Battlefield's fan favorite breakthrough mode, of course, but that's been done. Teamy Studio has tried to implement some innovative and unique features in Delta Force Hawk Ops, and there's a campaign section on the way that allow players to walk through the events of Black Hawk Down. So it's not a like for like replication, but it's damn close. Is Delta Force worth playing? Like I said, I'm having a great time playing Delta Force Hawk Ops, and I'm particularly enjoying the extraction shooter mode that feels like a trip down memory lane into DMZ, Call of Duty's failed extraction shooter mode. It's essentially the same thing, introducing an easier and more arcade extraction shooter. Love to hear that. Experience that will sit well with more casual gamers. Cool. I'm cool with that. In Delta Force, the gunplay feels satisfying. Weapon customization is slick, and the lineup of specialists is diverse enough that they each stand apart from one another. I'm a particular fan of Luna, an agile character who wields a bow capable of firing recon arrows or electrified shots. Feels good, looks good, and it's free to play. Inevitably been bolstered by a slew of microtransactions, season passes, and cosmetic bundles, but that's the way of the world. In the absence of a new Battlefield game and in the death of Call of Duty DMZ, Delta Force Hawk Ops could just be what the gaming world needs, even if it's a mirror image of those very games. I'm sold, bro. I'm sold, Mav. I when this shows up, whatever it shows up, like, I'll be there day one, free to play. I'm in. Again, I just gave my money to First Descendant. I will try this game. This sounds dope. I don't care if they copied. If it plays like Battlefield, Mav, we can go in and have a kick-ass fucking time with some Battlefield mixed with some Call of Duty DMZ. I'm cool.
Yeah. Add the controller support. I'll play it right now.
That's what I'm saying. We need controller support. Yeah, we need controllers. Must.
They'll get there with that. And I think this has got a lot of hype behind it. A lot of people are excited for it. I think I'm completely okay with it. Why? Because it puts pressure on Battlefield to be even better, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. If this takes off and has like tons and like hundreds, like thousands of concurrent.
If the old Battlefield players come back to this Mav, just because.
Yeah. Let's say that this game takes off more than Battlefield has sold in all these years, right?
Yeah.
Like it would be a crazy thing, but that puts pressure on EA, right? To Say, hey, let's make this the best Battlefield game, and then create that game that everybody else tries to copy in the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool with me, man. A competition. If it's it, I gotta be honest. It looked like it looked like I was watching Battlefield. But the guns were slightly different. Like the different things like that. So like, it's gonna have its own unique flavor and feel to it, I'm sure. But ultimately, yeah, just the more great games out there, the better for all of us at the end of the day. So
agreed.
Agreed. I wasn't expecting this when we got that original trailer. I wasn't expecting this kind of to happen. This kind of sentiment and all these things. Like I was wondering if this was going to go the way of where the campaign was going to be solid, but the multiplayer is going to be ass or whatever. But it seems like it's actually really great. So it's amazing.
Pull out the campaign, even better.
Yep.
Holy shit. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm always excited.
When did we first see this? Where was that trailer at? What was
last
that?
Last year, I want to say fall last year. Let's find out here.
Yeah, I remember seeing it and seeing that Black Hawk like campaign trailer. I was like,
the campaign trailer was at Tequila's this year. At Summer Games. Okay, but the actual first announcement that we saw it at was last year. Was that Game Awards or was?
Can't remember, but it's getting some damn excitement. So
yeah, no, that's all that matters. And again, anytime you tell me that you got,
I think Bob is streaming it again tonight too.
I'm sure he is. He's been streaming nonstop.
Yeah,
he's like, dude, August 4th of last.
Yeah, last Gamescom. Brett says.
Yeah, last Gamescom. Okay, so it was last Gamescom. Yep. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, speaking of Brett, I had wrote down a question that he had asked in the chat that I thought it was a good question. This is a little bit off topic, but I don't know if you're down to answer.
I don't say black cock. Ever got there? Seriously. Anyway, yes,
Black Hawk.
Black Hawk.
Down. Black
Anyways,
Hawk.
Yes.
Up. Wait, what? Hawk.
Everybody thinks I said that. Jesus. y'all look, your minds are all perverted because of freaking social media. That's why everything is paused. Everything is paused nowadays because everybody's mind is dirty. It's proven every day. I see those posts every day where somebody posts a totally innocent picture and says, if you see two ducks swimming together, you're good. And of course, it's not two ducks swimming together. Okay? It's freaking whatever, some nude female or something crazy, right? That everybody sees. Your brains are all fried, mine included. But I'm just saying, we're all fried.
Yeah.
Anyways, go. I did not say black cock.
Brett Bingham asked earlier, how long before Sony launches ports to Xbox? I mean, if I'm a shareholder of Sony and I see what Microsoft Xbox is doing to increase shareholders' value, what the fuck is Sony doing for me?
We're finding out, right? Hiroki Totoki is.
You suck at business.
He said, yes. You suck at business. Your numbers suck.
Hey, we got good
He's
games,
absorbing
but we
Bungie
suck
right
at
now.
business. Bungie, you're one of us.
Stash Gordon, I see you. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're gonna have to do things a little differently than Xbox does, but I think you could see some stuff. I mean, you're already seeing it happen a little bit with the Lego Horizon game going to Switch.
Yep.
So they're starting this trend. We'll see 5-6 years from now.
That shows up
at some point.
The Lego Horizon game. Year from now.
Could it?
Next year we could see it.
Game Pass day one.
Would be.
I forget when Death Stranding came to PC. Didn't it come to PC Game Pass?
Yes, it was in PC.
But that's
how I tried it. That's how I tried it when I first got my PC.
And it was a deal with, was it 505 Games? I think
505 Games had the publishing rights. This time around, they do not have the publishing rights. Sony has locked it.
For the PC release, also.
Correct.
Okay. They were like, "How we can't allow this to happen again."
Yes.
Yeah. So they got MLB that
Yep.
Microsoft find ways to do some of these. It'd be interesting if the Lego deal or whatever is causing that to be on the Switch, and they could manipulate that situation somehow to figure out how to get it over on Xbox. We'll see.
I think they want it on Xbox personally.
Probably, yeah.
Again, they don't want to admit it to their fan base, but they want to start doing what Xbox is doing.
Yeah,
because they understand it will grow. Not everything.
They're capped out on how many consoles they sell. Like it's like,
and their IP they want to introduce to new people.
Putting old PlayStation games on Xboxes, is that going to really cost them too many PlayStation sales? Really? Like it doesn't do a damn thing. It's like the same thing Xbox doing. Like,
yeah,
Xbox gamers that were gonna buy Xbox consoles are probably still gonna buy Xbox consoles. Like PlayStation guys that are gonna buy a PlayStation console probably still gonna buy a PlayStation console, even if God of War comes out 2 years later on an Xbox. I don't know. I just don't see like there being a whole like a huge detriment to either company. And I think the fact that Xbox is doing it makes it easier for PlayStation to go and do the same thing.
Yeah. And Brett, that's exactly what I was thinking about when I said that, is that was the response when Herman Hulst was asked about it coming to Xbox. He said, we don't have any announcements for Xbox at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the classic line.
That's not locking the door.
We just have nothing to say right now, but down the road, don't count it out, right? Because yes, it makes sense. Like it just does. Like I said, they don't want to admit it. They want to tell their extremists that they're going to start doing it. They got to get the PC locked in first. I think that is their priority, to get their PC lineup locked in and how they're going to launch on PC first. But once they start doing that, it's just a matter of time to start expanding elsewhere. It's not going to be every game. I don't think it's one for one like Xbox, but they're going to try. They're going to put some stuff over.
Yeah.
Makes sense. They see the numbers from MLB. MLB is one of the most played games on Xbox every single year now. Like they see that number and they see the money that it comes in from the microtransaction. That's exactly what you're talking about. That shareholders got to be going, oh yeah, we see those numbers too. We could do that with other games, Yeah, you could. So, I see it. I see it happening. Oh man. That's about it, man. For me, everybody, Mafia is now available. Definitive edition. If you love gangster stories, if you love old mob stories, like the classic ones. I'm not talking about like Goodfellas, but if I'm talking about like the classics, like 30s and 40s. Even if you do like Goodfellas, go download Mafia Definitive Edition. It's well worth your time. I saw some people saying it's GTA just in mob form. It's not GTA. It's much more narrative than GTA is, but you're still going to kind of have that, obviously Rockstar 2K experience out of Mafia. It is damn good. It's worth your time. Go check it out. It's free. It's on Game Pass. Go check it out. And number 2 is good. And number 3 is highly underrated. Number 3 is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
In my book. I love 3. But go check it out. It's available now. Got a little bug flying around here. So Mafia is available on Game Pass. That dropped this week. And that's pretty much it. That's all I got, Mav. I don't really have anything else. We didn't go into the Tango. I mean, Tango's been saved. I know you guys talked about it on Monday. That happened Sunday night. Due to obviously Japanese time. Happy for Tango. 100% that this turned out this way, that Krafton swooped in last minute deal with Xbox to keep them open. John Johannes was out on X saying, and we're back. He was excited. Like, that's dope for the entire team. I hope they crush the fuck out of Hi-Fi Rush 2. I hope it does huge numbers for them, or even bigger numbers than what they had before. I hope that Krafton does stay true to what they said, and they said they're going to take Hi-Fi Rush and expand the IP. That's something we talked about, Mav. All the characters in Hi-Fi Rush were easily marketable. That's the one thing we all talked about. Like, oh my God, Xbox could have like this nice cast of characters that they can market Xbox through everywhere. They never took advantage of that. If Krafton does expand this out, awesome. I'm happy for the team. I'm happy they get to work on their IP. Now, word is that Microsoft kept Ghostwire Tokyo and The Evil Within. If that is true, if they kept those 2 IP, I told Xbox on Twitter when I posted, I said, just Xbox, do something with the IP. Don't throw them in your closet with all your other fucking wasted IP. Speaking of which, what's his face from Obsidian came out this week and said he would love to work on Shadowrun.
Mhm.
Give it to him. Give it to him.
Yes.
Please give him Shadowrun. It doesn't have to be Cyberpunk 2. It doesn't have to be to that extent that CDPR went. That's huge. That's a huge open world game. Just give Obsidian Shadowrun and let them go do an Obsidian style Shadowrun game. Please. That IP is sitting there wasting fucking away again underneath you in your closet. That's what I don't want to see happen with Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo.
It's funny that like my all the franchises in my mind I want Xbox to bring back most are all those old Fastest Studios games.
I know.
Shadowrun, Crimson Skies, then you also had Mech Assault. Yeah.
Phil talked about it being one of his biggest regrets. Right?
Yeah.
He's talked about that before, obviously, with Fable and Lionhead being one of his regrets, but FASA was one of his biggest regrets, was letting that team go.
Yeah.
Never.
Absolutely.
Fuck. Yep.
I only have one more thing, Pong.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I put this out on Twitter earlier. All right. So there was this little exchange between Stein and I forget who else, somebody else on Twitter about a YouTube short that Xbox had like privated or something. And it's like Be Right Back Crying is like this little YouTube short video. And it was like privated and like then it was removed where Stein was like, hey, like it's nothing really to see here or whatever. We're just something working on or whatever. And then it like there's a link or whatever, it got put out there. So there's a little YouTube short that was public and this is advertisement where it's like this fake conversation between two people, and then at the end it ended up turning into like a short Game Pass ad. Like it's like this cheerleader broke her hurt her leg or something, and then at the end it's like, oh, but everything's okay because I have my new Game Pass set up or whatever. So they showed an image of this Game Pass setup with like a TV, and in the image you have a the TV says Game Pass. You have an Xbox Series X. You have in this entertainment center you have a Xbox 360. You have the Xbox Series fridge and toaster. You have Xbox Series controllers. You have a headset. Everything is Xbox and purposeful here in this image. Okay.
Interesting.
But there is, and the image was only up there for like a second because it's a YouTube short, and they left it very quickly at the end. But there was something on the right side of the shelf that I couldn't make out what it is. So it's on my Twitter. I don't know if you see it, Pong.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I may be looking too much into it, but there's something on the right side of the shelf, okay? And and I kind of like zoomed in, and at first I thought it was like a green bowl. But the right side of it, there's like this black console-y looking piece of plastic thing.
You think this is something?
Well, Xbox has a history of
looks like a Series X wrapped in bubble wrap to me, if you want my eye.
But it's not because of like the little details you can make out on the Series. It's first off, it would have to be on its side.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And if it was on its side, the little indentation, the slit on the left doesn't make any damn sense. And also the marking on the top doesn't make any damn sense because that's not what they look like when they're on their side. So there's something that this image, like I don't know what this is.
It's a box of animal crackers.
Well, it looks like either it's a bowl with something beside it or in front of it, or it's something that has green bubble wrap around it.
It looks like bubble. It looks like bubble wrap. That's the first thing I thought it was.
But it's not a Series X. I guarantee it's not a Series X. Because you can see the scope of the other Series X in the image.
You haven't seen the discless.
So you think it could be a discless Series X on its side?
Could be.
But the discless looks kind of just like the regular, doesn't it? Like when they revealed it.
I don't see where you see all these details, but okay.
I mean, if you zoom in, like you zoom in,
it's all blurry as fuck.
It is a square black thing, plastic. You can clearly see it's a square black plastic thing.
Yeah, no,
right?
I got that.
And it's something. It's just out of place. Everything in this setup was purposefully set up and staged, right?
Oh no, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly. We've seen this before, so I'm not taking away from what you're saying. I'm bored with what you're saying. I'm just like I don't know what you want to go with here.
I just don't. I just think it's out of place. I want to know. Is this our first potential glimpse at some other kind of piece of Xbox hardware that they are like sneaking onto this shelf under wraps.
What? And what will be ready?
Wraps, under bubble wraps.
They're not going to show like any.
Could be a tease at it. Could be a tease at the handheld dock, a handheld and a dock.
Sure, I guess.
It could be a tease at like
really, because you can't see anything.
Yeah, no, it's like really, but like beforehand with like Phil had shit behind him or all these other kind of things. They had stuff hidden we couldn't really make it out very well, right?
Right. Oh,
like
yeah, no,
this is everything else you can easily point to and say this is that, this is that, this is that, but not this.
Yeah, put up the picture. Put up the picture.
Okay.
Share the picture.
Yeah, I'll show the picture.
Everybody chat was share the picture.
All right, so the Psycho has said dock for the handheld. Was my and trying to get it bigger. Hold on.
It looks big. I guess.
I'm trying to let me save the image to my desktop real quick, so that way I can bring it up. All right, I'm gonna bring it up here. Image. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so this is the tweet. It says this is the image from where they put up the ad. It was like in his fake text message, right? I put on my Twitter a link to the video. And this image is only up there for like a second with this picture, okay? So on this image, you have everything here. Like you have the Game Pass TV. This is a Game Pass setup or whatever this lady's saying. You have this fridge, you have the toaster, the 360 controller and games. In here, I don't know if you can make it out, but there's an original Xbox and Xbox controller. Series X, you got the Xbox Lite, you got Master Chief controller stand, another controller here, a headset stand, Xbox sign, Xbox trophy, and then this thing. This thing. What the fuck is this? So at first I thought it was like a green bowl with something, but then okay, it's like, is it bubble wrap? Like they obviously clearly set the stage, so why would they just leave something in bubble wrap just awkwardly, right? So there's bubble wrap around something black plastic right here. Am I crazy? Is this something? Tell me. I mean, this is black plastic that is squared off.
It says, quit moving it so much, you motherfucker.
I'm trying to make it big.
Oh, great. Pause. Why is the image distorted? That's what I was saying, Stash, is that it looks fucking weird especially when you zoom in. And I know obviously it's going to pixelate, right? But
yeah,
the problem is the trophy next to it looks fucked up.
Yeah, like right here is ripply. Yeah. I agree. I don't know why that is. I don't think they made this using AI. I mean, maybe they did, but like that would make sense because sometimes you see on AI images like that weird, distortion or whatever. Yeah. But no, this is
not unless they use it editing, and they could have edited something in there.
I'm gonna move it one more time. Okay.
Like I said, it does. I do agree that overall, if I had to lay down money, that is green bubble wrap
around something
that they don't want to show off completely.
Exactly. That's 100% what I was saying.
Right. And I do agree with you. And if you look closely, it looks like it has a separate stand or base underneath it from the main part of the block when you put this picture up in a certain way. Now, again, that's tough to tell because of the distortion and because of the pixelization.
But also, if you look at the image, it only gets distorted and weird on that side of the picture.
Correct.
If you zoom in on the rest, it's like they distorted that side on purpose. Yes. I'm saying it was just a weird thing. It's a weird ad. weird YouTube short thing that they did, a weird ad, this weird thing going on, and then this on the right side, and it would fit in with things that they've done in the past. I don't know. I don't know what that hell that thing is, but everything else in this image, you can clearly point to it and say exactly what it is. So why have this piece of black plastic that's clearly rectangular shape wrapped in what seems to be green bubble wrap sitting on the edge of the shelf? I rest my case. What do you think, chat?
Your wife's upset.
Why? What would I do? What did I do?
Because of how bad you distort the image the more you zoom it in. She wants somebody else to give her the picture so she can.
Okay. Well, it's on Twitter, babe. You can download it. It's on Twitter. I posted it today. So.
I don't know, man. You might be onto something. We might come to find out that they were teasing us, something in this picture, and that you caught on to it at some point. But yeah, they didn't give us much to work with there at all.
No.
So
moving it ruined the. I was trying to make it big, trying to move it and make it big, so that way you guys could see it in all of its full glory. I was trying to show you the detail. That's all I got.
With that, we're gonna end on that note. Pause. Oh, good God! Oh, Squirrel the Gun is only $14 right now.
You gonna get it?
I love squirrels, so squirrels are one of my favorite animals. So it's fucking. I know it's just basically like goat. Just a stupid ass game, but it looks funny as hell. I might have to. Anyways, and let's see here. All right, yeah, I think we're out of here. I don't think I've got anything else. I was just double checking to see if there was anything else I want to hit. But no.
Okay, it wants to see it from a distance. Hold on, I gotta move it around more than.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Hold on, I'm gonna move it and make it from a distance. Sorry, I've expanded it so much.
Quite the voyeurism you got going on there.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Did we even talk about Plucky Squire? Did get an official release day. Plucky Squire looks dope as fuck. I don't know if I'm gonna play it day one, but it looks cool. Plucky Squire got their official launch, which is September 17th. And as we stated in the beginning, it is the rare day and date game going into PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium. So if you got PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium, you get Plucky Squire day and date. So now there'll be much celebration for everybody who gets to play Plucky Squire, even though they all fucking shit on Game Pass games going in day and date. They will now praise the hell out of this. So anyways, there's your that'll be your hypocrisy of the week. But hey, it's cool. The random weird day and date game, third party showing up at Sony. So
yeah,
Plucky Squire looks cool though. It really does. I think the game looks awesome.
I noticed. Yeah, it does look good. I noticed that the shelf, like the top of it, there is other distortion that will across the whole thing. It's like these weird, like little like ripples in the shelf itself.
It's a time distortion because they brought that device back from the future.
Maybe
in that picture. So that's what we're seeing is the left.
But like, it's not an AI image because there's too much like little specifics and stuff.
I get it.
I don't know, man. Anyway, all right, that's it.
Everybody, it's been a fantastic episode of PM the PM. Thanks for letting Mav hijack the show with this picture stuff. One day we will find out if he was onto something.
It's probably absolutely nothing. Probably somebody accidentally left something on the edge of the thing.
Yeah, probably a block of cheese, Stein's cheese or something shit that he left out. Anyways, everybody, thank you for joining us on another Thursday night, PM in the PM Pong and Mav in the PM. Next week should be fun with Gamescom. Lots of games to see, to talk about. There's a future game show going on next week too, as well, Mav, during Gamescom too. So there's going to be tons, because what we read off tonight, most of it was just the Xbox show, because again, they got 50 games there.
Yeah.
Even the third party stuff. is all going to be at Xbox, but there's tons of other stuff going on at Gamescom with new announcements too. So next week should be a full slate every day, Tuesday through Friday. So come Thursday, we're going to have a lot to talk about, Mav. But thank you everyone for being here. Awesome to see you, all the familiar faces come out and show up and talk to me and Sniffles tonight. And he did well. You guys could tell.
Yeah,
I'm able to talk.
I'm getting better, man.
Getting better. But no, love you all for being here. Thank you for that. And let's get everybody out of here. So Math, Xbox Ultimate, I didn't make last week. I'm certainly going to try tomorrow night. No guarantees, but I'm going to try for sure because I want to talk to everybody. What do we got going on? Anything else? You're going to be streaming some Madden, by the way?
I need to stream. I need to finish Bardoo's season officially. And then I'll probably stream some Madden. I've been maybe wanting to stream some more Call of Duty. I kind of want to hop back into Halo. I've been playing Diablo. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this weekend you'll have a multitude of streams. Brett's talking about the image again. I saw the same thing, bro, and I was trying to determine myself if that controller next to the OG Xbox was too big to be a Duke or not, and I can't tell. But it did look a little strange to me, the controller next to the OG Xbox in the middle of the console. So there could be something there too. Anyway, yeah, you'll see me just hanging out here. I will stream something this weekend, but I will also be in multiple other places because tomorrow I'm going to be hanging out with Fuzzy and Ferocious Fee on their horror show, horror podcast. Yeah, we've been talking about a movie called Dog Soldiers. Yeah, that I watched for the first time.
Is that an older one?
Yeah, it's like early 2000s.
Yeah, I've seen that movie. I know. I've seen.
What did you?
Yes.
Well, I'll say I'll reserve your thoughts for it. I'm just curious. I want to know what you thought about it after the show.
Yes, I have seen that. Absolutely.
So we're gonna be giving our thoughts about that. Then on Saturday, or plus we have Xbox Ultimate tomorrow night. Then on Saturday, I will be hanging out with PTK Blam and the crew's back on the Shop podcast. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, and I think that's the only other places that I'm going to be besides our regular shows coming up. So
nice. All right. Perfect. Thanks, man.
What about you?
Thank you for everything, man.
No, thank you, Pong.
No, I appreciate you sucking it up one more week, man.
Yeah. We made it.
Being here. You put yourself on the line every week for us, sir. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I know. I got to do what I got to do for everybody.
I just hope it's not monkeypox.
I don't think so. Don't you those leave spots? I don't have spots.
Okay. All right. Good. You haven't been to San Francisco lately, right?
No.
Okay. Probably. Anyways,
I was applying at IGN last week in San Fran.
Oh God.
No, I'm just kidding.
Everybody, thanks for being here again. You guys know the drill by now. Pong Soul on X, formerly known as Twitter. Pong Soul on the Xbox. Pong Soul on Steam. GOG, Epic, wherever. Find me. I'll find you back tomorrow night again. I will try to be here for Xbox Ultimate, if at all possible. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time, where the family gets together. We have lots of laughs, but we do talk a lot of good gaming stuff too. And then, of course, Saturday morning, it starts. Me and the brother from another Steel Rain will be live, raw and uncut. 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Living split screen, all one word. 3+ hours. Buckle up. Get ready. We'll talk the talk. Get the chat involved. It's a good time on Saturday mornings. We'll bring you from the morning to the afternoon. So be there for Living Split Screen. And then, of course, Saturday night, like Mav just said, PTK made the announcement. We are back for the Shop Podcast, the best way to end your Saturday night on the Shop Podcast. Be there for that. 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time. Fuzzy, PTK, myself, Mav, and K Mega will also be there. I have not talked to K Mega in forever.
Yeah, it's been a minute, dude.
Yeah, it has, man. So that'll be a fun Saturday night. And then, of course, next week it starts all over again. So Tuesdays is Xbox Factor. Double Barrel Gaming is the channel. Boomstick is the man. Shout out to Boom. I saw him jump in here. I don't know if he's still in here. Shout out to Boom. 5 days a week, but 12 p.m. Eastern, 11 o'clock Central Time every Tuesday for all good things green. And then, of course, Thursday, God willing, back here with this guy right here. Like I said, we should have a full slate of games to talk about. Lots of new trailers, lots of good stuff happening. We are in that mode. Lots of games dropping as well coming up here very shortly. So get ready for that. PM and the PM next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central Time. Otherwise, it is the golden age gaming, everybody. So please have a great Friday. Have a great start to your weekend wherever you are in the world. Get out there, play what you love what you play. And I'm going to talk to you all real soon. Math, get us out of here, brother.
Thanks, everybody. I hope you all have a good night. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.